It's playoff baseball time here on Spanish Fork 17. It is the 2019 state championships here in 4A. Today's game here in the afternoon is the Spanish Fork Dons against the Park City Miners here in round 2. The Dons took the first game today against Ridgeline 3-2, just barely if you were with us on our previous broadcast. Park City took their game against Snow Canyon over at Field 8 over at the Sports Park, and so they have the privilege and opportunity to play the Dons here today in Game 2 here in Round 2 of the state playoffs, reminding you that you can also tune in on YouTube, folks. Go to youtube.com/SpanishFork17 or sfcn.org. Get everybody you can watching this one, because this one is going to be a classic, just like the last one was. Again, the Dons took that one on a score of 3-2, scored 3 runs in the 5th, and that was just enough run production for Mason Nielsen and the rest of the pitching staff to get the win there early today. And now they get to face these Miners who they finished second in their region, so certainly a difficult play here for the Dons. I guess what's going to be the key for the Dons here to get the win?
Once again, we're looking at a great pitching matchup. We talked about Mason Nielsen, how great he pitched, and now we get to see the other Nielsen, Cy Nielsen, up on the mound today for the Dons in the second ball game. They're going up against a potent Park City lineup, hitting about .337 as a team with a .431 on-base percentage. So we're looking at a Ridgeline team last game that they beat that, didn't have as much offensive pop. Now you're looking at a potent team in Park City. This should be an interesting matchup, I think. To beat Snow Canyon as Park City did earlier today, that's an impressive matchup. Obviously, Snow Canyon, one of those teams from St. George in that area, that they just produce teams like crazy, full of talent. So an interesting matchup. We'll see if Spanish Fork can hold stand.
As it's, again, as Jake said, Cy Nielsen on the mound for the Dons. It is an early 2-0 count here to Alex Cha-Cha, second baseman for the Miners. And Nielsen pumps in a strike there, so the count now 2-1 here to Cha-Cha's. After Cha-Cha's will be Ryan Jeffrey, who is pitching for the Miners, and after him will be Max Mobley out in center field. That one's going to be painted beautifully on the outside corner for strike 2. Evens up the count here at 2-2, and Nielsen wasting no time. That one, a dangerous little check swing foul ball over there, flies over the Spanish Fork dugout. Here comes that 2-2 pitch to Cha-Cha's. That one worked right down the middle. Strike 3. Beautiful pitch from Cy Nielsen. Gets the first out of the inning via the K.
And we talked a lot about last game how great the Ridgeline pitcher pitched for those Riverhawks. That was Dalton Purser, I believe. Daxton Purser, sorry about that. He had an excellent game. He had a ton of strikeouts, had a lot of command, and this is another one of those guys, Cy Nielsen, who really knows how to command the plate, mix up his pitches, really confuse hitters, and he racks up strikeouts.
That one tapped down the first baseline, foul there by Ryan Jeffrey. It'll even up the count at 1-1. Nielsen, definitely the ace of this Don staff as he goes working again here. This one's going to be taken high and inside there by Jeffrey, 2-1. Definitely a strikeout machine, does a good job of working both parts of the plate, has an absolutely electric fastball to go along with his off-speed offerings, as that one is going to be taken low and outside. So hitter's count here for Jeffrey, 3-1.
Nielsen going to take his time here, just compose himself early on. It is hard when you're playing 2 games back-to-back. I know these guys have done it before. They've played baseball quite a bit in their lives, but never easy as Nielsen throws that one way outside, out of the box, in fact. So command is going to be important. Nielsen is a great pitcher. He is an ace for this team indeed, but his command is kind of lacking to start here, and it's going to be interesting to see if he can hold serve.
Struggling to find the strike zone, but knowing Nielsen, he will definitely get this figured out. So runner on first for Spanish Fork at this point, not for the for Park City, the Miners at this point. And that one's going to be taken low and inside for ball 1 to Max Mobley. Mobley plays out in center field for the Miners and is the third batter in their lineup.
Mobley so far hitting .341 on the year with 21 RBIs. Has a home run of his own, as that one's going to allow the base runner Jeffrey to advance.
Squirts away there from Ho-Rain. So runner in scoring position now for the Miners. Jeffrey over there at second base, and Mobley still up. 2-0 count to the center fielder. Beautiful pitch there from Nielsen, exactly what he needed to get himself back in this at-bat. So 2-1 count here to Mobley.
We know that Nielsen has a great fastball, a powerful electric one, in fact, mixed with that curveball, the off-speed breaking pitch. We'll see how well he can incorporate both here.
That one low and in the dirt. So once again, a hitter's count here for the Miners. So a 3-1 count to Mobley.
Seems like he is trying to throw it pretty hard. Maybe almost too hard, because he's having some struggles here trying to find that strike zone.
Found the strike on that one. Be able to get the outside corner there. So now a full count here to Mobley. That one is going to be ripped foul. So Mobley still in here with the full count. Again, runner on second base here. That is Ryan Jeffrey. Again, he will be pitching for the Miners today. We also want to just inform you that it is not the seventh inning of this particular game. This is actually the top of the first. We're just getting things started here and underway at Nelson Field. So top of the first, full count here with one out to Max Mobley. Here comes that full count offering from Nielsen, and it is a strikeout, an absolute beauty right down the pipe. Freezes up Mobley for Nielsen's second strikeout of the day. So now 2 outs here in the top of the first.
Nielsen is a strikeout machine, just doing what he does best there. Electric fastball to get that second out. If he has control, it's going to be dangerous. So, you know, Park City's going to have one heck of a time trying to get runs.
The reason that Nielsen was held for this particular game, obviously Mason Nielsen, our MVP Sports MVP of the game in the last game, did his job to get the Dons into this position, but they knew if they were going to be able to come away from today completely in the winner's bracket that they would need a strong game from Nielsen. Cy Nielsen in this second one. Here comes the 1-0 pitch here to Ben Agnew. He swings through that one for strike one, so evens up the count here at 1-1.
Yeah, it's always nice to have a great, 1 and 1A option if you're Spanish Fork, and that's what they have in these Nielsen brothers. They've just been exceptional all year long.
Swing and a miss once again. Oh, this one actually was just barely foul tipped there by Agnew, but it does move the count to 1-2.
Of course, we're talking about how potent the Park City lineup is. You got Agnew here, who hits .449 on the year, 2 home runs, 22 RBIs for this team. And a left-handed hitter, too, a left-on-left action.
The 1-2 offering from Nielsen. This one is going to be sprayed away foul. Jams him up there, but able to fight that one off is Agnew, so keeps the count here at 1-2. Again, Park City in this one because they just beat Snow Canyon, a very impressive team from Region 12 down there in St. George, so just to even get to this spot is very impressive for Park City, as that one is laced out into right field. A nice single there from Agnew. They are able to hold up the runner at third. In fact, they're able to gun him down over at third base. A nice heads-up play from the Dons defense to get themselves out of the top of the first. A little bit of help from his friends with Cy Nielsen. Gets 2 strikeouts, but that play over there at third base seals it up. So no runs here in the top of the first as we head on over to the bottom half of this inning. It gives us an opportunity to thank our wonderful sponsors for all of the things that they do for us here at Spanish Fork 17 and making these broadcasts possible. That's McKell Thompson and Wise, attorneys at law, the Driggs Mortgage Team, State Farm Lance Wilson, Two Jacks Pizza, MVP Sports, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, and the car guys at the Blue Diamond Auto Group.
What an amazing heads-up play over there. Was that Nielsen over there making that cutoff, I believe?
I believe so.
Yeah, throwing it over to third. I mean, big turn there from Jeffrey. Was trying to get around third, maybe try and get in off that base hit, but took way too big of a turn. once he knew he wasn't going to get there, it just took him too long to try and return back to third, and just heads up throwing there. And that's the kind of stuff that Spanish Fork has done. They did that in the last game as well. They were really heads up on defense, and those are the kind of plays that save you runs and win you ball games.
So through 1, 2 strikeouts for Cy Nielsen. A walk and a hit, but nothing doing there, so able to put up the 0 in the top of the first. Now on the mound for the Miners is Ryan Jeffrey. Jake, what do you got for us on Jeffrey?
Well, Ryan Jeffrey, number 23 for the Miners, he so far has 15 appearances. He's really their workhorse, and 5-1 so far in the year. He's pitched about 45 innings or so, 44 and 2/3 to be exact, with a 2.51 ERA. He gets strikeouts, 42 Ks compared to 10 walks on the year, and the opponent's batting average sitting at around 273. All the stats there laid out to you. He's really one of their main guys. They throw out quite a few people to pitch, but none more than this dude. He's their workhorse, Jeffrey, a junior for the Miners, and he'll look to hold serve with Cy Nielsen. Obviously, last game, Purser for Ridgeline was able to do a great job. We'll see how this one goes.
Certainly not an easy task to go pitch for pitch with Cy Nielsen, but that is the task on hand for the Miners pitcher as he works that one on the outside corner for strike 1 to Tay Newman. Newman, with one of the key hits in today's earlier game against Ridgeline, had the RBI double that really got the scoring going for the Dons' first RBI of the game as he spoils that one foul and is in an early hole here, 0-2. It'll be Newman, Pintar, and Cy Nielsen to get things rolling here in the bottom half of the first inning here for the Dons. That one is going to be thrown in there for a ball, so 1-2 here to Newman.
You mentioned how he had that clutch hit in the 5th inning last game against Ridgeline where it was a 0-0 stalemate. He was able to break open the scoring with a huge base hit.
Swings at that one. It goes in the dirt, so they do have to make the throw over at first, and it sails over the head of the first baseman. So Newman does strike out, but it works in favor of the Dons as he's able to not only advance to first, but is able to then get over to second on the throwing error there by the catcher.
Yeah, that's just tough play for Park City. Those are the plays you have to make, though. It's playoff time. You got to step up and reduce the amount of errors. Now you have a runner on second on what should have been a strikeout. Tough start defensively for the Miners, but a good start on offense for the Dons as they get a runner in second base.
Yeah, the Dons certainly have nothing to complain about with that particular play, as it is now Andrew Pintar digging in. And he is going to watch that one for ball 1. 1-0 count here to the big hitting shortstop of the Dons. Pintar with the other big hit in this morning's game against Ridgeline. He followed up Tay Newman's double with a 2-run single. Was the big run producers in that 3rd run, 5th inning that really made it so the Dons came away with the victory in this morning's game, as Pintar unable to check his swing on that one, so the count moves to 1-1.
Good breaking ball there by Jeffrey to get him looking. By the time he was swinging, it was too late for him to hold back.
Yeah, Newman sitting over there at second base after striking out, but advancing on the error by the catcher. That one absolutely crushed, but it is going to be foul. Pintar plenty ahead of that one. Moves the count to 1-2.
Of course, we talk about how dangerous this top order of the lineup is. Newman, Pintar, and then Cy Nielsen, of course, the do-it-all player coming up in the on-deck circle. So a good start here for the Dons. Nobody out. Good look to get some early runs on the board.
And certainly any early runs here is going to be a boon for the Dons with Nielsen on the mound. You give him runs, and he most likely will just run away with things on the mound for you. So if you can strike early, it's definitely in a good place for the Dons as Pintar takes that one high and tight. So it'll move the count to full here on the number 2 hitter in the Dons lineup. Newman with a pretty sizable lead over there at second base. Here comes that pitch. Pintar rips it out towards center field. Center fielder giving chase, but it is beyond him. Goes for the dive, and Pintar is going to be getting plenty of extra bases on this one as he finds his way over to third base for a triple T RBI triple to start things off for the Dons. Newman scores on that one, and early on we have a 1-0 lead here for the Dons over the Miners.
Perfect hit right there, just goes right in the gap, and nothing you can do. Mobley trying to reach out and stretch for that play, but as soon as he dove and missed that one, it rolled all the way to the wall. Nothing going for Park City so far. Dons are off to a hot start from the plate.
Now batting number 11, Cy Nielsen.
The strikeout that Newman had right at the top ends up really biting them early as he was able to advance all the way to second base on what should have been the first out of the inning. Instead, he plates on a triple there by Pintar, and that is the first strike there to Cy Nielsen.
Yeah, we talk a lot about the little things come playoff time, the simple plays, the complex plays, just being able to reduce the amount of errors you make. And obviously, like you said, that one is costly. You have an out, and then to give that one up, and now you watch that run go in off of that triple. It's damaging. It's tough. Park City just has to figure out now how to respond and just try and limit the damage here. With nobody out and a runner on third, and of course their best hitter Nielsen for the Dons at the plate.
Here comes that 0-2 pitch to Nielsen. He's going to figure out a way to foul that one off. Able to fight and stay alive here. So the count's still 0-2 here to the big slugger for the Dons.
Jeffrey so far going with quite a few breaking balls actually to start here. See what it does on this pitch.
And that one is going to squirt away from the catcher, and Pintar is going to score on the passed ball there. So now an early 2-0 lead for the Dons, as it's really been thus far about the miscues for the Miners.
That's two right now. We just mentioned the last one, and another pass ball there on a fastball that was a little high, but I think it was a catchable one for Davison. Just gets out of his mitt and goes to the backstop.
So a throwing error and a pass ball thus far the story for the Miners, along with that triple T RBI triple by Pintar. That one is skied high into foul territory. Giving chase was the third baseman and shortstop, both really unable to track that one down, so it falls down harmlessly for Cy Nielsen. The count will stay at 1-2. Again, the score 2-0 here early. We are in the bottom of the first with no outs. An RBI triple to get things going for Andrew Pintar, who scored Tay Newman. Pintar then scoring on a passed ball. And so that 2-0 lead is looking really great for the guy that's currently in the batter's box, Cy Nielsen, who will be heading back to the mound for the top of the second. This one crushed out into center field. Center fielder giving chase. This one maybe blooping. It does. Actually, a little bloop single there for Cy Nielsen. Sounded like it hit the end of the bat there, so it finds its way onto some outfield grass, and this inning just keeps rolling right along for the Dons.
Yeah, Nielsen obviously a great hitter, and based off the reaction of Chacha's there at second base, you could tell that he was kind of expecting that one to kind of drop. And outfield playing pretty deep. You have to respect Cy Nielsen's ability to hit with power, but at the same time, just bloops that one and too much space really in that outfield. And Park City is in a little bit of trouble here to start. They're expecting a better start from Jeffrey. It just hasn't happened so far, but you can't blame him necessarily. A couple of bad miscues for the Miners, and they have themselves in a hole here. Nobody out still for the Dons, as Massey's going to come up to hit next after they break off. Of course, the winner of this game goes to Ogden to the quarterfinals.
And definitely in a better position to be in the winner's bracket heading out to Ogden. Those games will start on Wednesday, and we will get you coverage of those games when they come rolling around. Unfortunately, you won't get to hear Jake and mine's beautiful voices. You will be hearing that from. We will get that to you via KSL Digital. But those games will definitely be available to you on Spanish Fork 17. Up now for the Dons is Tyson Massey batting cleanup in this one. And he's going to square away for the bunt here. Trying to play a little bit of small ball here in the bottom of the first. He will pull the bat away, and that will be ball one. Following Massey will be Noah Conway and Tanner Peterson. Once again, Massey squares up for the bunt. They're going to throw it back over to first to keep Dawson Lee close. Dawson Lee running speed up for Cy Nielsen. Obviously wanting to keep the pitcher fresh and also make sure that he maybe doesn't injure himself on the base paths, as his arm is going to be extremely important in this one, as they're going to throw it over to first base after that one as well. They are really making sure that Lee does not get any kind of good lead.
Of course, Tyson Massey, he's hitting about 189 on the year. Not somebody we see a whole lot, and the other person being, I believe, is it Randolph? It's a deep lineup, nevertheless, for the Dons, who can plug and play people at will, really. And there's just been so many contributors to this team that have allowed them to continue and win games and really just have such a great season this year.
Yeah, Massey typically DHs or plays first, and that time he gets plunked on the shoulder, so he will make his way over to first base. Lee will make his way over to second base, so still no outs here in the bottom of the first, as the Miners are really just struggling to find any way to get these Dons hitters out.
Number 19, the right fielder, Noah Conway.
Brings up Noah Conway. Conway batted fifth in today's game earlier, so he stays here in the 5 spot here for the Dons. So runners on first and second, and Conway is also going to square up for the bunt, but they are going to make a little pickoff move over there towards second base to keep Lee close. Lee now in scoring position here. The Dons up 2-0 here early in the bottom of the first. An RBI triple and a pass ball being the way that they have scored thus far. A little foul tip tap there by Noah Conway there, and that is strike one.
Obviously, it's a different pitcher up for the Miners compared to the last game, but you have to wonder, they played a tough game against Snow Canyon, a game where they were down 5-4 at one point later on in that matchup, and they were able to get a good 4 runs. You wonder how much energy they have left.
Conway once again squaring away for bunt this time. Fouls it again, so moves the count now to 0-2. You always wonder about that, Jake, whether you spend so much energy winning that first game in what turns out to be a double hitter that you kind of end up falling a little bit flat to start off that second game. And it's just a matter of energy and just a matter of you've played a game already. You've played some baseball, and so you're just kind of already coming into this game a little bit more fatigued than usual. That 0-2 pitch is spoiled away there by Conway.
Yeah, not to mention that they played a tough team in Snow Canyon and were able to get the victory. Obviously a good result for them, but these games, man, they come at you quick. From the last pitch of the last game to the first pitch of this one, only a couple hours to compose yourself, get a little food in your body and whatnot, and prepare. That one gets fouled off.
Yeah, the first of the games today were played at 11 o'clock, and we turned right around and had this game start at 2:30. We actually were out eating alongside the players, just got to quickly get that lunch in, then you're right back up to warming up for the next game. And so, yeah, it really just moves at a very quick pace, as they're actually going to take a I'm going to take a quick look at the pitcher just to make sure that he's doing okay. He's kind of indicating that there may be something going on with it. Looks like his right calf is what they're taking a quick look at. Hopefully Ryan Jeffrey is okay. It looks like he may have just kind of landed a little funny on one of his last pitches. So they're trying to stretch out that right calf. Potentially some cramping with it being a little bit warmer today than it has been. Yeah, they're definitely, the trainer is out there working him, as you also see Spanish Fork's trainer running out there making sure that Jeffrey is okay.
Yeah, not really, never a good sign, obviously. And we just talked about it. You know, it may be a matter of attrition. I don't know if he played last game or not, but you know, you go through 2 games back to back, and then you know, you end up tweaking or doing something funny, and obviously when you're playing back to back games, your pitching depth starts to get tested. So not a good sign early on. In fact, nobody out. It's going to present a problem for Park City early on. They do have options though that they can turn to. They have multiple people who can come in and pitch. I think they're just going to try and give Jeffrey a minute, see if he can recover. It may just end up being a what do you call it, a cramp based off of it, the looks of it.
The answer to the question, who was the first female?
Yeah, most likely it's just, he's just cramping up. They need to make sure to get him some, when he comes back out, they'll need to make sure to get him some liquids, trying to get him stretched out. Again, you see a picture of the crowd here at Nelson Field. Appreciate all the fans coming out here in droves today, as it's a really exciting time here in the 4A state playoffs, and really Spanish Fork has a very good shot at going deep this year. They made it to the quarterfinals last year, and I think that they're in a position where they could go even deeper than that this year. You've got the Nielsen brothers on the mound along with Mason Olson, so I mean, you got 3 quality pitchers that you know you can send out there at any time that can eat up innings and get you good quality starts. You have Newman and Pintar that have come in relief, and Newman's even started a couple games and just has a very electric fastball. And so they have plenty of depth on the mound as well as just as you're seeing here today, here early off in the bottom of the first. A very productive lineup from 1 to 9, as well as Noah Conway steps back in for the Dons, swings and misses at that offering from Jeffrey. So second strikeout of the game for Jeffrey. This one actually really meaning something for him, as he gets out number 1 finally here in the first.
Now batting left fielder number 15, Tanner Peterson.
Brings up Tanner Peterson for the Dons out in left field.
A little big out there, you know. It's a 2-0 ball game. They haven't started well at all, but if they can get out with just the 2 runs, that would be a big step in the right direction for the Miners. Obviously, a 2-run game is a winnable game. It's a game you can come back from potentially. If they give up these 2 runs, though, and go down 4-0, it's going to get pretty tough, especially with Cy Nielsen on the mound.
The 1-0 pitch is sent over towards that third baseline, but it will roll over there foul. Evens up the count here at 1-1 to Tanner Peterson. Peterson had 2 walks in this morning's game against Ridgeline, went 0 for 1 on the day, but his biggest contribution in this morning's game was he made just this phenomenal catch out in left field, just absolutely Willie Mays-esque over the shoulder grab that probably would have been a triple for the other team, as he sends that one high in the sky towards left field, and that one is going to end up foul, so it moves the count to 1-2.
This is an incredible play, and it was not only that, it was a very significant play in terms of the game. Nobody on for Ridgeline, and it was around the 4th or 5th inning when that play happened, and what could have been a leadoff triple for them ended up being just one of these amazing over-the-shoulder plays. It's not something you see every day, and Peterson coming in clutch for the Dons.
That one is going to miss for ball 2, so it moves the count now to 2-1 to the left fielder of the Dons. Actually moves the count to 2-2. It evens it up. So he's going to swing and miss at that one. That's going to be strikeout number 3, which normally would mean that you're out of the inning, but unfortunately for Jeffrey, it just means we've got 2 here.
I think that break, in a sense, although you never want to cramp up or get injured or anything, I think it was a good little break for Ryan Jeffrey to kind of compose himself. It looks like he's kind of getting back into a little groove here with back-to-back strikeouts.
Big cut and miss there from Morley Bennett. Bennett getting the start in this one out in center field, usually Cy Nielsen's position, but with Nielsen on the mound, Bennett gets the call out there in center field. He usually is the first runner that comes in on the speed up, and so definitely some wheels here at the plate as the count now moves to an 0-2 count here, so early hole to Morley Bennett. 2-0 here in the bottom of the first in this second round matchup here of the 4A state playoffs. Spanish Fork with the 2-run lead here in the bottom of the first, as that one's going to be in the dirt for ball 1, so a count of 1-2 now to Bennett.
Of course, the winner of this one, as we said, going to Ogden to face the winner from the other bracket in the Game 11 game. We know that Desert Hills has made it on. They defeated Toole 4-1. And then, of course, in the other matchup is Mountain Crest taking on Orem. And that one going on right now, actually, with the first pitch being at 1. So they're kind of getting towards the end of that ball game. So we'll see who will face who coming up here. Obviously still early on.
And there is a rare feat that you won't see very often. 4 strikeouts in this first inning here for Ryan Jeffrey, as we are going to head on over to the second, and we'll get you to more of today's action when we come back on Spanish Fork 17.
Need a new car or truck? Come to the guys you trust. The Car Guys are part of the Blue Diamond Auto Group, and they have the best selection of quality vehicles at the best prices for your budget. The Blue Diamond Auto Group with the Car Guys at 872 North Main in Spanish Fork.
Finally got me, Ben.
What's that, Rick?
The Clark Street crater, the mother of all potholes. Got me good.
But you know State Farm's got you, too.
You ain't nothing!
Go with the one that's here to help life go right.
In Spanish Fork, see your good neighbor State Farm agent Lance Wilson.
Hi, welcome to Two Jack's Pizza.
For the best pizza you'll ever taste and our world-famous cheese sticks, come to Two Jack's Pizza on Main Street in Spanish Fork or call us for a quick delivery. Are you hungry yet?
I definitely recommend the Driggs team. They're amazing.
Hi, I'm Greg with the Driggs Mortgage Team, where we believe there's no substitute for experience. Stop by our office today on Main Street and let us help you get into your brand new home.
Welcome back to Spanish Fork 17. This is the second inning of today's afternoon game here of the 4A state playoffs. It is the Spanish Fork Dons up against the Park City Miners, as that one is grooved in there for strike 2. Cy Nielsen getting ahead early here on Austin Davison. This one sent high in the sky but foul. Did you get a view of the back of the field there, trying to track the ball down? This one swung on and missed, so it'll be a strikeout, and the throw by Horain over to Massey to complete the out there. So 3 strikeouts on the game for Cy Nielsen. It has just been a K-fest on both sides.
Yes, it has. I was going to bring that up to you. We had 4 strikeout inning on Jeffrey's behalf. Obviously, that first strikeout costing them 2 runs when they missed the throw over to first, and now you have Nielsen, who has 3 of his own. We got ourselves another exhibition on the mound.
Yeah, both pitchers really dealing thus far. Here's that 1-0 pitch. That one's going to be outside, so 2-0 count here to Kellen Dankers. Actually wanted to, while we've got a little bit of time here, as Nielsen throws that one in there for strike 1. We actually, hopefully here at Spanish Fork 17, will be producing most of the games out there in Ogden, especially if we are able to get into the winner's bracket as the countdown moves to 3-1. So you may actually get to hear more of me and Jake. Aren't you just excited? you should be, because it'll be fantastic, and we're excited to get you that action when that happens. That as the games out in Ogden will start on Wednesday. That is a lead-off walk to Kellen Dankers to start things off here in the top of the second.
Tell you what, I'm excited to hear me and you more. I've enjoyed our time together here so far.
It's been pretty great. It's been pretty great.
It's been great here. I'd say the only downside, when we were talking about this last game, the wasps. The wasps in the booth.
Absolutely.
A little bit.
Yes. We've had a couple that have flown in here, and we're grown men here, but man, there were times where it was close. Tensions were rising. Pitches in voice were getting a little bit higher than usual, as that one is worked in there for strike one to Zach Blasek.
It only makes the baseball even more exciting for us two, at least. That's what I think. And you know what? I think the Wasps like to listen to us, obviously.
Yeah, they're tuning in, so the rest of you should be tuning in on Spanish Fork 17 as well as on our YouTube channel, as that one is going to be low and outside. So evens up the count here at 1-1 to Blasek.
Getting back onto baseball terms, we got Blasek here at bat, hitting about 300 on the year, producing about 17 RBIs for the Miners.
And they're going to throw it on over to second base, and he is absolutely gunned down. Merciful heavens, well read there by Skylar Horain, who just, man, he was out by a mile over there at second base.
That's a couple of plays where they've just picked off runners, and Park City's had 2 opportunities now, and they've stranded them on the bases off the base running. Nothing you can do there. I mean, just an absolute gunning throw, a dime, you should say, by Horain, who has been excellent at catcher in these 2 ball games.
Frames it up perfectly, and that is going to end the top of the second with nothing other than a strikeout. So that's now 4 strikeouts on the game for Cy Nielsen. 2 scoreless innings as we're going to move on over to the bottom half of the second inning of this one. 2-0, a 2-run lead here for Spanish Fork. Gives us time to thank our wonderful sponsors.
All righty. We'd like to thank the Blue Diamond Auto Group, the attorneys at law of McKell, Thompson & Wise, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, State Farm in the offices of Lance Wilson, Driggs Mortgage Team, MVP Sports, and 2 Jacks Pizza. Of course, we also like to thank everybody here at Spanish Fork 17 for their hard work and efforts, the cameramen, producers, everybody, for all that they do. They're the best.
They are the best around as we get a quick view of them. That is Adam and Tempest, one of our newer employees, as she gets the bunny ears from Adam. Oh, got caught. Again, we love our crew here at Spanish Fork 17. They make things fun, they make things interesting, and more importantly, they put out a quality product for you guys, and so we appreciate them and all that they do. We love our producer Pete, who is in the truck today making this broadcast possible, making us look good and sound good. So again, thank you so much to our crew here at Spanish Fork 17. And it is going to be Jeffrey once again back on the mound for the Miners. Again, he did have what looked like potential cramping on the mound there in the first, was able to get it stretched out, and then just one of the rarest streaks in baseball that you'll see. He had 4 strikeouts in 1 inning. We'll see what he can do to follow that up, and he starts it off pretty strong with a leadoff strike here to Cade Randolph. Be Randolph, Horain, and then back to the top of the order with Newman here in the second. This one tapped just past Jeffrey. It's going to be a close play over there at first, but he is gunned down. So a ground out to shortstop will start things off here in the bottom of the second for the Dons.
I'll bring up Skylar Horain, who himself had an excellent ball game against Ridgeline earlier today. Had a couple of key hits that started the scoring for them and helped lead them to a win.
This one pounded out into the outfield, but just drifts over towards right field. So a nice play out there in the outfield makes out number 2. So after a 2-run inning to start things off in the first, this time it's 2 quick outs in the bottom of the second. So it looks like Jeffrey really is kind of starting to settle in.
Yeah, we mentioned that after that, cramp, it looked like, after he took a couple minutes to stretch it out and give some fluids in him, he really has settled in and has gotten back into his groove. It's kind of silenced the offense for the Dons.
Nice off-speed pitch there to Tay Newman to start off the at-bat, so he'll get himself ahead 0-1. Newman struck out in the first inning, but was able to advance not only to first base but over to second base on the throwing error by the catcher. He scored on Andrew Pintar's triple T triple in the first. This one is rocketed out into left field, but it will be in foul territory. Oh, a little bit dangerous out there for some of our fans across the fence. Kind of had to dive out of the way to not get hit by that ball.
Hopefully they're okay out there. It's kind of what you get when you sit out in that area, though. There's been quite a few of those foul balls that kind of drift over there.
Yeah, a few of them hit over there. Then we've got the gallery that's over here down the first base line that's had a couple of rocket shots over in that direction, as that one is going to miss up and away. So the count moves to 1-2 to Tay Newman. That one going to be low and inside, so Newman has worked the count here to full. 2 outs here in the bottom of the second inning. A 2-0 lead for the Dons over the Miners in Game 2 of the 4A state playoffs for the Dons. This one is spoiled away by Newman, so he will stay alive here in this full count at bat. A nice view of the truck over there as the ball kind of headed over in that direction. We hope that Pete is safe.
In the shelter of his truck.
And just missing the outside corner there is Jeffrey. So Newman gets himself on board here with 2 outs. And so second time he has been on base today, this time via the walk.
And I think if you look at the theme of this, whole day as a whole in both games, obviously it's early in this one, but you look at the 9, 1, and 2 hitters for Spanish Fork. Horan, Newman, and Pintar, all 3 of them have just been exceptional over the course of these 2 ball games for Spanish Fork, and they've produced big hits. Obviously, Pintar had the huge triple in the first inning. We'll see what he can do here.
Here comes that first pitch to Pintar. Just kidding. It will be another snap throw over there to first base, making sure that Newman does not get a big leadoff over there at first. Pintar, as Jake said, with that triple T triple in the first inning that got the scoring going, scored Newman on that one. Also had the big 2 RBI single in this morning's game, so Pintar really a big force here in the number 2 hole for the Dons as the count is now 1-0. If Pintar is to reach, Cy Nielsen would be up for the Dons. This one in the dirt, enough for Newman to try to make it over to second base, and he is gunned out. A nice throw over there by the catcher gets Newman out at second, and so that is going to end the inning here. So nothing doing in the second for the Dons. We will get you the third inning of action when we come back on Spanish Fork 17.
Nobody plans on getting in an accident, but if it does happen, you can rely on the expertise of Mike McKell to protect and fight for your rights. Specializing in personal injury law, Mike McKell is the attorney you need. Contact Mike at McKell, Thompson & Wise.
The best time to check your furnace is before it fails, and you can rely on Triple T to do the job right. Our technicians are trained every year so you can sleep better at night, knowing your furnace is safe to operate. Call Triple T at 798-7711 to schedule your tune-up today.
MVP Sports is the #1 source for sporting goods in Spanish Fork. Football, soccer, all the fall sports, we've got you covered. Check out our new custom t-shirt builder. Design at home and we'll build it for you. MVP Sports, 72 North Main in Spanish Fork.
Welcome back to Spanish Fork 17 for Game 2 here in Round 2 of the 4A state playoffs. It's the Spanish Fork Dons up against the Park City Miners. Both teams winning their games earlier this morning at 11 o'clock and have moved up into the winner's bracket here with an opportunity to get themselves in great position come Wednesday as the playoffs move on over to Ogden. That pitch pumped in there for strike 1 to Evan Pointer. That one's going to be low and inside, so evens up the count here at 1-1. Ken Nielsen back on the mound for the Dons has been pretty good in this one, you could say.
He's been dominating. This has been doing everything, you know. I'm impressed every time I watch him pitch, just how he's able to mix up speeds, full hitters as you just saw there on a nasty breaking pitch.
Yeah, mercy. Pointer could not do anything with that one as the count is now 2-2. And strike 3 there. Swing and a miss from Pointer. 5th strikeout of the game here for Cy Nielsen, who has been averaging 2 strikeouts per inning, so still right on par with what he's been doing thus far.
I mean, when your ratio is 45 to 11 Ks to walks, when you're averaging 4 Ks to 1 walk, that's impressive.
You're doing something right.
You're doing something right.
You're doing something right. Count is 0-1 here. That one in the dirt and up and over Horain, but just moves the count here now to 1-1 to Ryan Hunt. Hunt, the number 9 hitter in the Miners lineup. He is DHing today. Daniel Schultz out in left field will not be hitting today, as that one is sprayed out towards the fans over there that are sitting out towards right field. Moves the count to 1-2. After Hunt will be the top of the order for the Miners. Alex Cha-Chas for them, as that one is fouled away. Actually, it looks like he may have fouled it into his foot there as he kind of shakes it off a little bit.
Yeah, just drilled it right into his foot there. Just was able to get enough, though, to avoid the strikeout.
Only to have it be then on the high cheese. Hunter caught chasing after that one. So 2 straight strikeouts. That's 3 straight strikeouts now for Cy Nielsen. 2 in this inning, so 6 strikeouts total in the game. And we're back to the top of the order for the Miners and Alex Cha-Chas, who, not coincidentally, struck out in his first at-bat. A beautiful curveball there from Cy Nielsen for strike 1.
Kind of like the way that Nielsen approaches it. Normally you throw your fastball as your first pitch, try and get a strike, and he goes opposite with the breaking ball.
That one sent over to Randolph at second base, and that is going to be the 3rd out of the 3rd inning here. So Cy Nielsen just right in cruise control here. 6 strikeouts thus far, just really handling this Miners lineup as we head on over to the bottom half of the 3rd inning. Gives us an opportunity to thank our fantastic sponsors and for making these broadcasts possible here on Spanish Fork 17. That is the car guys at the Blue Diamond Auto Group, Mikkel Thompson and Wise, attorneys at law, Triple T, heating, cooling, and plumbing, State Farm, Lance Wilson, the Driggs Mortgage Team, MVP Sports, and 2 Jacks Pizza.
Nielsen been wheeling and dealing so far. Now we get to see Ryan Jeffrey go in the bottom half of the 3rd. Jeffrey has his own number of strikeouts as well, currently sitting at 4 on the game.
And all 4 of those coming in the 1st inning. Again, I can't stress how crazy that is that he had 4 strikeouts in 1 inning. It's one of those just kind of fun baseball anomalies where technically a strikeout should get you an out, but when it goes in the dirt and they swing at it, you have that opportunity to advance to first base, and that's exactly what Newman did, and even got himself over to second base on a throwing error by the catcher. So kind of a fun little stat for you that he had all 4 of those in 1 inning, and you know what? That's just part of life. That's part of baseball.
Something you don't see often. In fact, that's the great part of baseball is you always see something historically that you've never seen before. I would think about the earlier game with play by Peterson that went over the shoulder is something you don't see a lot. And something we were also discussing, before this game was the rarity of plays like, triple play, for example, and grand slams, and just how amazing those are. You don't see them a whole lot, especially at the high school level. Rarely do you ever see anything of that magnitude. Rarely do you see it in the pro leagues either.
It's true. Triple plays in particular are just extremely rare, and so you just got to cherish the moments where you see something crazy happen, as that one is spoiled away there by Andrew Pintar, kind of again over towards our fans over there that are down that right field line. Moves the count now to 0-2 to Andrew Pintar. Pintar with that big triple T triple in the 1st inning. He is currently up, as he was up in the last inning as well, but he is up currently because they threw out Tay Newman to end the inning, trying to steal over there at second base. Count is now 1-2. Pintar scored on a passed ball as well, so triple and a run scored here for him. He spoils that one away foul. It'll be Pintar, Nielsen, and Massey up for the Dons here in the bottom of the third. Again, the score 2-0. 2 quick runs there in the first inning for the Dons. Otherwise, it's been a pitcher's duel on both ends, with Jeffrey finally kind of settling in as that one is again spoiled away by Pintar.
Pintar doing a good job to fight off contact or fight off these pitches and get contact on them. Just slowly tapping them back. Really, as a hitter, those are great. It gives you more opportunities to kind of see the pitches that are coming to you.
This time is going to be called there. Pintar readjusting the gloves, getting himself set up for this 1-2 count. And he's going to spray that one up and over the head of the second baseman. So a lead-off single here for Andrew Pintar. 2 for 2 on the game thus far. So definitely doing his job from that number 2 hole in the Dons lineup.
Isn't it something, whenever you fight off pitches, it gives you opportunities, and I feel like more often than not, those hitters that are able to keep counts alive are able to get timely hits as well in the end. So a good battle there between the two, and Pintar comes out on top over Jeffrey.
So Pintar gets things going here in the bottom of the third for the Dons with that leadoff single. Brings up Cy Nielsen for the Dons. Quick throw over to first base. Trying to keep Pintar close as he's a demon out there on the base pass. Leads the team in stolen bases, so certainly a quick twitch athlete that really knows how to read the pitcher and get himself that extra base. Here comes that first pitch to Cy Nielsen. He rips it out into center field and will have a single of his own. Pintar hustling over to third base, and he will get there. So a nice hit and run situation there for Cy Nielsen. Gets Pintar over to third base. So it is runners on the corners with no outs here in the bottom of the third.
Talked about how speedy Pintar is. He just flew around the bags there, going from second to third. Just a routine single, really, driven into center. And, that speed kills. He gets around the bases and already puts him into a good position here with nobody out still.
Pintar 90 feet away. Cy Nielsen getting the single there, and that is Dawson Lee once again running some speed up there for Nielsen, trying to keep Nielsen fresh for on the mound since he is pitching today. So Massey up. That is going to be in the dirt, and that is going to have Dawson Lee sprinting over to second base. So now 2 runners in scoring position with no outs here in the bottom of the third.
Yeah, probably a wise decision by Davison just to eat it there, although it's frustrating when you have those pitches that kind of spike in the dirt and you can't do anything about it. Now the force is kind of gone, and you have runners on second and third. Dangerous position for Park City.
As Massey bloops that one foul, that will be back behind the backstop here. Moves the count now to an even 1-1 to Massey. Massey was hit by a pitch in the first inning. Takes a big cut at that outside pitch by Jeffrey. Moves the count to 1-2. Up after Massey will be Noah Conway and Tanner Peterson, both strikeout victims in the first inning. See if they can have more productive at-bats in their second go-around against Jeffrey. This one lifted up into the sky out there in left field. And he's going to make a nice play out there in foul territory, but it will be a sac fly as Andrew Pintar comes flying in from third base. And so a productive out there by Tyson Massey, the sac fly to extend this Dons lead to 3-0.
Yeah, just a good piece of hitting there. Usually what they tell you in baseball is, nobody out, 1 out. You just get it in the air, get it to outfield. Allows you to score runners. It's just how they coach it. And good hit there, good piece of contact by Massey to drive in Pintar.
Gets the ball in the air, so a nice productive out for Massey. That is a first pitch strike to Noah Conway. Again, Conway went down on strikes in his first at-bat in the first inning, but now with a runner in scoring position, has an opportunity to redeem himself and extend this Dons lead. That one's going to be taken upstairs for ball one, so an even count of 1-1 to Conway.
Obviously, the Dons would love to get Cy Nielsen in here, add more insurance. See what Conway can do.
Again, Nielsen helped his own cause by hitting a single here in this inning. Dawson Lee running for him over there at second base, as that one was sprayed away there by Conway, so the count is now 1-2 to the number 5 hitter in the Dons lineup.
Conway so far hitting .212 on the year. That before today, of course.
That one high and away. Evens up the count at 2-2. Again, the score 3-0 here. 2 runs in the first for the Dons. Another run just coming across here on the sac fly by Massey. So that's 2 runs scored here for Andrew Pintar, who's also 2 for 2 on the game, a single and a triple. So certainly doing his part here in the early going, as that is going to be strikeout number 5 for Jeffrey. Conway going down for the second time on strikes.
Yeah, just a good fastball there, and Conway wasn't able to catch up to it, a little behind, swinging on that one. So a good second out there, or I should say, yeah, that is a second out for Park City. So they'll try and get out here with, again, limited damage. They got to hold Cy Nielsen from scoring.
Tanner Peterson rocks that one foul. Count is 0-1 to the number 6 hitter. Again, score is 3-0 here. The Dons with the advantage over the Miners. Jeffrey on the mound here for the Miners. 5 strikeouts on the game. So certainly getting lots of swings and misses. That one, not a swing and miss, but swing and foul.
Yeah, just able to get a little bit of contact on that one.
Moves the count now to 0-2 here on Tanner Peterson. Peterson was a strikeout victim in the first inning. Certainly would love to be able to figure out a way to redeem himself here. With a runner in scoring position, he sprays that one foul and away again over towards our friends over there. But this one actually lands on the batting cage over in the netting over there. Beautiful day at the ballpark. As you see a shot there of the ball itself, nestled in quite nicely there in the netting there on the batting cage. Just absolutely perfect weather for baseball today, and that is a swing and a miss. So another strikeout for Jeffrey. This time it is. Oh, they are going to call that interference on the hitter there. So that will actually be the 3rd out of the inning here. So 6th strikeout of the game for Jeffrey is what takes us to the 4th inning of this one. We'll get you that when we come back on Spanish Fork 17.
Third inning, the Dons had
Need a new car or truck? Come to the guys you trust. The Car Guys are part of the Blue Diamond Auto Group, and they have the best selection of quality vehicles at the best prices for your budget. The Blue Diamond Auto Group with the Car Guys at 872 North Main in Spanish Fork.
Finally got me, Ben.
What's that, Rick?
The Clark Street crater, the mother of all potholes. Got me good.
But you know, State Farm's got you, too.
You ain't nothing!
Go with the one that's here to help life go right.
In Spanish Fork, see your good neighbor State Farm agent Lance Wilson.
Hi, welcome to 2 Jack's Pizza.
For the best pizza you'll ever taste and our world-famous cheese sticks, come to 2 Jack's Pizza on Main Street in Spanish Fork, or call us for a quick delivery. Are you hungry yet?
I definitely recommend the Driggs team. They're amazing.
Hi, I'm Greg with the Driggs Mortgage Team, where we believe there's no substitute for experience. Stop by our office today on Main Street and let us help you get into your brand new home.
Welcome back to Spanish Fork 17 and our coverage of this round 2 matchup between the Spanish Fork Dons and the Park City Miners. That was strike 1 to first batter of the inning here for the Miners, which is Ryan Jeffrey. Count now even up here at 1-1. It'll be Jeffrey, Mobley, and Agnew for the Miners here in the top of the fourth. Again, Cy Nielsen thus far living up to his billing as the staff ace. That one's going to be low and in the dirt. 2-1 count here to Jeffrey.
Yeah, like you're saying, he's done a great job so far. Being able to strike out in masses, that's what he's known for. And he's continuing to just get, as you see there, swing and misses. People just, the batters for the Miners honestly have no idea where these pitches are at. And he's framing it so well on the outside corner.
2-2 count here, and that is a really ugly check swing there, unfortunately, from Jeffrey. So that is now the 7th strikeout victim of the game for Cy Nielsen. As that one just absolutely froze up Jeffrey.
Yeah, we were talking about it. He's absolutely fooling people. When you have a breaking ball like that just bites, and you're a hitter, it's just embarrassing almost. You don't know, you're guessing completely. You don't know where the pitches are going to be. That one a questionable strike, but he gets the call there. It looked like it was a little low from our vantage point, but he'll take it. 0-1.
Oh, as a pitcher, you definitely take that one, especially when it's a first pitch strike and helps you to really establish the at-bat. Count now even here to Max Mobley, 1-1. That one going to be low and inside. Moves the count to 2-1.
Of course, Cy Nielsen, we know him very well for his pace and how quickly he determines it as well. He just goes up and starts firing. When you can determine the pace, so he gets another strike there, it's just hard as a hitter. You're kind of playing his game at that point.
Absolutely not much you can do to slow Cy Nielsen down, as that is going to be yet another strikeout. Merciful heavens, just an absolutely biting little cut pitch there on the inside part of the plate. Gets him his 8th strikeout of the game.
He is absolutely just fooling people right now. He's just toying with them, and the fans love it. Nielsen just putting on an excellent performance here.
As that one's going to be fouled away by Ben Agnew. Agnew batting cleanup here for the Miners. Had a single in his first at-bat. That one's going to be taken low and outside, so an even count here to Agnew at 1-1.
See if Agnew can get anything going.
Big swing, big miss. That one located nice on that low and outside part of the plate. Moves the count to 1-2.
Yeah, if you're a hitter too, it's so hard because he's trying really to just get contact and not be tentative.
This one sprayed over towards the third baseman, but it does end up squirting past Tay Newman, so that will be the second hit of the game for Ben Agnew. So 2 singles for the cleanup hitter for the Miners, and they keep themselves going here with 2 outs in the top of the fourth.
I was going to say, it's hard because you don't want to be tentative, and that's the benefit there. He does get contact, but you saw from the last 2 pitchers, Mobley and Jeffrey, who were just completely guessing at pitches. Sometimes you do have to have a little hitter discipline, and a good job for Agnew to just kind of choke up and get that one out to left field.
Able to spray that one the other way, wins that particular battle with Nielsen, as the count is 1-0 here to Austin Davison. Davison a strikeout victim in his first at-bat in the second inning. That one going to be low and inside, so doing a nice job of being patient here, 2-0. Agnew over there at first base for the Miners. Score 3-0 here in the top of the fourth. 3-run advantage for the Dons as Nielsen tries to catch the inside part of the plate but does not get the call there. So a 3-0 count here to Davison.
And this is the best thing you can do if you're Park City. You just kind of have to play your game. Be patient. And they're doing that just now. 4-pitch walk.
Nice job there by Davison to just go ahead and make Nielsen pitch to him. And so he's rewarded with a 4-pitch walk. He'll head over to first. Agnew will mosey his way over to second base. So 2 runners on here in the top of the fourth. It'll be Kellen Dankers now up for the Miners, and he's going to slap that one foul. And that is going to hit some stuff. Nice thud there.
Talked about how beautiful of a day it is. It's just absolutely amazing, by the way, for baseball. And, of course, not only this game, but you have the other game going on in the losers bracket. That one gets fouled off. You got some other games going on as well, even a Little League playing out here. It really is a baseball day in Spanish Fork, and so many people out to view baseball. It's just great, just enjoyable.
The 0-2 pitch there from Nielsen is going to just barely miss, a little low there. Count now moves to 1-2 here to Dankers. Dankers walked in his first at bat, but then was thrown out trying to steal. He was thrown out by an absolute mile when he tried to steal in the second inning. This one swung on and also foul tipped.
Yeah, that wasn't particularly close, that last effort. Just a great throw, though, from Skylar Horain.
Oh, absolutely. Count 1-2 here to Kellen Dankers. The score 3-0 here in the top of the fourth inning. Dons with the advantage over the Miners here in round 2 of the 4A state playoffs. As that curveball is going to be snapped towards the outside part of the plate, but it will miss and even the count at 2-2. Again, the rest of the 4A playoffs after this game, it will head on up to Ogden, where the first round of those will potentially be played at some high school sites up there, but then the rest of it will be played over at the beautiful Lindquist Field, and we will be able to get you coverage of those games up in Ogden as much as we can here on Spanish Fork 17. So please stick with us here, as that is a line shot right up the alley, and they are going to try to score on it, and unable to field that one cleanly is Nielsen, though they potentially have a play over there at third. They are going to call him safe, it seems.
He is safe.
He is safe over there.
Yeah,
so
what an effort there, running that one out by Agnew, or that was Davidson, right?
Yeah, Davidson.
What a play. Very good awareness, too. It looked like at first when it hit Nielsen, it bounced off to the third base side, and it just looked like there wasn't going to be a play. It was just an unfortunate bounce. And Davidson noticed that third base was open enough that if he got a good enough run that he was going to get in. And that's a big play, because now you have runners at second and third, and they can get back into this game potentially.
That one's chopped over towards Pintar, who has a long throw over to first, and he is going to be safe on that one. And that is going to be another RBI here for the Miners, who have now cut into this Don's lead. It is now 3-2 as they're able to get some offense going here against Cy Nielsen in the top of the fourth.
Yeah, just good running overall by Park City now. And when they looked dead in the water for the first 3 innings, now all of a sudden they've gotten a run going. 2-3 now. Remember the last game, if you watched Ridgeline, they didn't have anything going until the 7th, and then all of a sudden they were able to string a couple of runs and make it interesting.
They're going to snap another throw over there to second. This time it'll be safe. And unfortunately for the Dons, not really paying attention there, as the runner from third, that's Dankers, is able to score on that throw over to second base, and this thing is all tied up now.
Oh, yeah, Park City is loving it. Their bench just erupted when that third run came in. Davison just coming in, and they did a big spike and everything, but like last inning, this happened the opposite, in reverse roles with Park City, where they had to just eat the throw from the catcher's spot, and that was honestly the wiser decision, to just kind of let him go and not risk the run. And now Spanish Fork, they throw that one to second. You give up the run, kind of a questionable decision there by Horain, but can't blame him. He thought he had a bead. And he did get the runner out last time, we said, on that rocket of a throw. So just an unfortunate play there for the Dons, and now this thing's all tied up.
That one's going to be outside, so it's now a full count here to Zach Blasick.
It's crazy how momentum changes so quickly in a baseball game, too.
As that one is inside, and that is going to be ball 4 there. They will have the runner go back to second base, as that is a walk. To my apologies, that's Evan Pointer, who just got the walk. Blasick with the RBI single is now over there at second base. So Pointer gets the walks. The runner's on first and second now, and it is Ryan Hunt up now for the Miners.
Yeah, if I were Gov Nelson, I might want to take a second, to be honest, and talk to Cy Nielsen, try and just buy him some time and calm him down.
As that one is off of Horain, and it is going to advance the runners, and they're going to a
And they're
big
thinking
turnover
about it.
there at third. At third, that was Blasick, who was potentially thinking about going home on that one. Instead, they will make it over to scoring position, though. Second and third now, as Pointer and Blasick advance on the pass ball there.
Sure enough, here he is himself. Nelson goes out there, manager Nelson, to talk to his Don squad. And it's unlike Cy Nielsen to have this lack of control, and I think he just got a little bit rattled there. A couple of hits strung together, and especially with 2 outs. It's frustrating when you have that 1 out, that's all you have to get. And you have hitters that are just fighting off counts, who are running on the bases, pass balls, and it starts to really get at you. He just needs to take his breath, relax, just do what he does best, throw strikes and play at his pace. It's almost as if Park City has sort of switched the tables and they're starting to play at their pace themselves.
So 3 runs scored here in the top of the 4th inning to tie this ball game all up at 3-3 in this second game of the 4A playoffs. Cy Nielsen able to find the strike zone there, so an even 1-1 count here to Ryan Hunt. That one just misses that outside part of the plate, so count now 2-1 to Hunt. Again, Nielsen not out of the woods here with runners on second and third here. And an opportunity here for Park City to take the lead if Hunt can be able to get a hit here, which he's got a 3-1 count here to work with. That curveball snaps perfectly in the strike zone. A nice pitch there by Nielsen.
It's a pitch he's comfortable with, too, and that's a pitch that you need to go to when you're struggling.
Full count this one off Horain.
And it is going to score the runner.
As that one gets past Horain, and Blasick able to advance once again on yet another wild pitch. Nielsen really struggling with balls down in the dirt, and that will also move Pointer over to third base, and that is a walk there to Ryan Hunt. So now runners on the corners, and the Miners have now taken the lead here with this 4-run 4th inning.
Yeah, and this has all come with 2 outs as well, which is the dangerous part.
As this one is crushed over towards Newman, who makes a nice play with the leather and finally gets the Dons out of this inning. The Miners come ripping and roaring here in the top of the 4th and score 4 runs off of ace Cy Nielsen. The score now 4-3, a 1-run advantage here for the Miners over the Dons. As we head on over to the bottom half of the 4th inning, gives us an opportunity to thank our wonderful sponsors and all that they do for us in getting these broadcasts rolling on Spanish Fork 17.
Yeah, once again, we'd like to thank the guys at the Blue Diamond Auto Group, the attorneys at law of McKell, Thompson, and Wise, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, State Farm, Driggs Mortgage Team, MVP Sports, and 2 Jacks Pizza for their sponsorship and their support of our broadcast. It's a tough inning for Spanish Fork, really. So the team at Park City, if we've concluded anything from today, is that they score in bunches. Obviously, they played Snow Canyon earlier in the first game of this 2-game set. And they were down at 1.5-4, Andrew, and they were able to string off a 4-run inning to respond to the Snow Canyon team, and eventually the Miners were able to pull it out. A game that I don't think a lot of people expected them to win, with Snow Canyon being number 4 in 4A, being one of the better teams in the state. So a big win for them, and then they get off to a slow start here, but once again, they attack in bunches, and they get a huge 4-run 4th off of really 2-out hitting and base running.
2-out hitting and base running, as you said, Jake, was truly key in that 4th inning, and a lot of pass balls and wild pitches also was really what helped key that particular run by the Miners. Just a lot of ones that were going off of Horain's shin guards and just under his glove, and he really has played a phenomenal catcher, but yeah, just some of these pitches in the dirt, just not able to handle them completely cleanly, and Park City able to truly capitalize on those opportunities, get runners in scoring position, and then just timely hitting was huge for them in that 4th inning. And so they score 4 runs in the top of the 4th, and now Spanish Fork needs to answer here with some runs of their own in the bottom of the fourth, and it all starts off with Morley Bennett, who lays a bunt right in front of Jeffrey. Jeffrey sends it over the first and gets a quick out here in the bottom of the fourth.
Yeah, just trying to get a quick base runner there, but he bunted it right back to the pitcher's mound pretty much, so easy play for Jeffrey to go with that one over the first. You can tell that Jeffrey really has found his groove, and it's kind of switched. The tables have turned. Where Jeffrey looked shaky to start, and now he has all the confidence, while Cy Nielsen is left kind of trying to regather himself.
Cade Randolph now up for the Dons, and he will take that pitch for strike one. Randolph grounded out to short in his first at bat in the second inning. Now with one out here in the bottom of the fourth, hoping to get things going here for the Dons and try to cut back into this one as the Miners took the lead here in the fourth. Spanish Fork hoping to regain that lead here in the bottom portion of the inning. Count evened up at 1-1 here. Randolph reaches for that one and pokes it foul. Moves the count to 1-2.
Of course, baseball is a game of momentum, Andrew, and obviously Spanish Fork just kind of lost their stride here, giving up the 4 runs there in the top of the fourth. But you're still in this game, and I have a good feeling about the Dons being able to rebound from that. They've played well offensively so far to start. They just need to be able to trust themselves, continue what they've been doing, get some hits.
And they certainly showed that they were capable, as that one is fouled away once again there by Cade Randolph. Able to score 3 runs there at the very beginning in the top of the first. Really got to Jeffrey early, who has now settled in, but there is certainly an opportunity here for the Dons to get things rolling once again here in the fourth, as after Randolph will be the dangerous part thus far of the lineup, as that one's just not fielded quite cleanly there by the second baseman, but will be counted as an infield hit there for Cade Randolph. So an infield single by Cade Randolph. He gets himself on board here in the bottom of the fourth with 1 out, and it brings up Skylar Horain.
Yeah, he just chopped that one, tomahawked it right in the air. That one went really high up, and then just kind of died in the infield there. And I don't think that Cha-Cha's was really expecting that one to bounce the way it did. And I think even so, as you see a check over to first, even so, I don't think he was going to be able to make that throw in time. It was just kind of too late.
Yeah, just kind of a bit in no man's land there in that sense. And again, Skylar Horain now up for the Dons, the number 9 hitter. That one squeaks a little bit past the catcher. They throw it back over to first base to keep Randolph honest over there, but the count is now 1-0 to the Dons catcher.
It's the kind of guy that, I would want at least hitting if it were me. Horain's been great so far today in both games.
Horain flew out to right field in his first at bat in this game, as they once again check Randolph over there at first. Got on base all 3 times in the game here earlier against Ridgeline, 2 for 2 and a hit by pitch, and so certainly has been an absolute boon for the Dons in the number 9 spot as he spoils that one away. Moves the count to 1-1.
Yeah, he's been offensively great. We talked about sort of his struggles there last inning defensively at catcher. I think that it was sort of a bit of him and Nielsen. I think Nielsen just having trouble with his accuracy, and he's a hard thrower too.
This one sprayed over towards third base. They will not have a play over there at second. So in essence, kind of a sacrifice hit there for Skylar Horain as Randolph moves over to second base. They do get Horain out over there at first, so it'll be 2 outs here in the bottom of the fourth, and the top of the order up once again for the Dons, and so Tay Newman will step up to the plate.
Tay Newman.
Newman, of course, in the first inning had that strikeout turn double.
Yeah, again, one of the weirder things that you will see in baseball, the strikeout, and then he advances to first and then advances to second on the throwing error by the catcher. This one ripped out into right field by Newman, but it'll be caught over there in right field. So here in the fourth, Park City rips their way back into the lead. So it is 4-3 as we head over to the fifth. We will get you that action when we come back on Spanish Fork 17.
Nobody plans on getting in an accident, but if it does happen, you can rely on the expertise of Mike McKell to protect and fight for your rights. Specializing in personal injury law, Mike McKell is the attorney you need. Contact Mike at McKell, Thompson & Wise.
The best time to check your furnace is before it fails, and you can rely on Triple T to do the job right. Our technicians are trained every year so you can sleep better at night, knowing your furnace is safe to operate. Call Triple T at 798-7711 to schedule your tune-up today.
MVP Sports is the #1 source for sporting goods in Spanish Fork. Football, soccer, all the fall sports, we've got you covered. Check out our new custom t-shirt builder. Design at home and we'll build it for you. MVP Sports, 72 North Main in Spanish Fork.
Welcome back to Spanish Fork 17 and our coverage of this second game of the 4A state playoffs. You see a view of the crowd there who have been so great here at Nelson Field here for the second of today's games. It is the Spanish Fork Dons against the Park City Miners, and it is a pitching change here for the Dons as they are going to bring Cy Nielsen off the mound and bring in the hard-throwing Tay Newman, usually playing over there at third base. He comes in on the mound here in the 5th inning to hopefully settle things down for the Dons and keep themselves in this 4-3 matchup.
Leading off for the Miners in the top of the 5th inning, number 23, Ryan Jeffrey.
Bring up Ryan Jeffrey, the pitcher, to bat.
So Newman just misses there for ball 1 to Jeffrey. It'll be Jeffrey, Mobley, and Agnew up in the 5th inning here for the Miners. That one catches the outside corner. A beautiful pitch there by Newman to even up the count at 1-1. It'll be Josh Dart over there at third base for the Dons with Newman coming in. It'll be Cy Nielsen moving out there into center field with the pitching change here. 2-1 count here. Nice pitch there by Newman, fouled, tipped there. So it'll even the count at 2-2 to Jeffrey. That one going to be low and outside. So now it is a full count here to Jeffrey. Again, the score 4-3. Park City scoring all 4 of their runs in the previous inning. That one popped up, but going to be out of play. Dart gives chase, but it is beyond the fence. So Jeffrey stays alive here in this at-bat. The count is still full. Newman, one of Coach Nelson's favorite relievers, and that is why, as he gets his first strikeout of the game, Newman just has an overpowering fastball with a nice mix of off-speed stuff. So he's able to come in and usually helps get things cleaned up for the Dons.
Yeah, good fastball there on the outside part of the plate. Able to overpower Jeffrey there. A much needed strikeout to start.
That pitch is in the dirt there to Max Mobley, so a 1-0 count to the number 3 hitter in the lineup for the Miners. He takes a big hack at that one. It'll even the count at 1-1. Mobley thus far not seeing the ball terribly well in this one. Has struck out in both of his appearances at the plate. Struck out in the 1st and in the 4th, and potentially on his way to a 3rd one here as the count is now 1-2. That one sent over to Pintar. Pintar with the long throw, and it will get past Massey. Thankfully, backing things up there is Horain.
Yeah, that was a great backup job by Horain. Otherwise, that one's going out into the stands. And that's 2 bases for Mobley. Good backup there, but again, another error. And that'll bring up Ben Agnew to hit.
Agnew, one of the bright spots in this Miners lineup thus far. He is 2 for 2 on the day, 2 singles, and another pass ball from Don's pitchers. That has really been a key story in today's game here. against the Miners is just stuff going off of Ho-Range shin guards and squirting away enough for these Miners runners to advance.
Yeah, we talked about that as well in last inning. Obviously, big part of the struggles was Ho-Range, a catcher. It's not being able to contain those pitches, but I don't know if that one hit the plate or if it hit the dirt. Didn't have a good enough angle, but it looked like it bounced off wildly enough. It probably hit home plate and went off into the backstop area.
Big cut and miss there from Agnew. Moves the count now to 1-2. Again, Mobley over there at second base. Had a single here with one out in the top of the fifth. So runner in scoring position for the cleanup hitter for the Miners, hoping to extend their lead. That is going to be outside and evens the count at 2-2 to Agnew. Again, Agnew was the first run to score in that fourth inning, the first of the 4 runs that scored. Takes just an ugly swing at that one, really fooled there by Newman, so he will go down on strikes, and that's the second strikeout of the game here for Tane Newman. So Newman following Nielsen's suit here, as both pitchers have averaged 2 strikeouts an inning thus far for the Dons, and so certainly they've gotten a lot of their outs on the mound and via the strikeout, but it has been pass balls, wild pitches that have really done the Dons in and made it so the Miners have been able to keep rallies going that wouldn't necessarily have happened otherwise.
Yeah, we talked about the little things. For Park City, it started off pretty ugly in the first inning. Gave up a couple of runs off of bad plays, errors pretty much, pass balls and whatnot. And now you see it starting to bite the Dons over the last couple of innings. But so far, Newman done a great job pitching-wise and is holding the Miners in check. And that's all they need him to do.
0-2 count here to Davison. That one's going to be upstairs, trying to get Davison to chase. He does not, so count now moves to 1-2.
Of course, Davison was one of those many runners, the 4 to be exact, that scored for the Miners last inning.
That one is going to miss low and outside. Moves the count now to even 2-2 to Davison. Davison walked in that fourth inning and ended up scoring as part of that 4-run fourth for the Miners. And Newman ends up striking him out, so 3 strikeouts for Tane Newman to get things rolling here in his relief appearance for Cy Nielsen. So 3 strikeouts for the flame-throwing right-hander as we move over to the bottom half of this inning. Score still 4-3. Gives us an opportunity to thank our wonderful sponsors here at Spanish Fork 17. That is 2 Jacks Pizza, MVP Sports, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, the car guys at the Blue Diamond Auto Group, Mikkel Thompson and Wise Attorneys at Law, State Farm Lance Wilson, and the Driggs Mortgage Team.
Again, what year did the Brooklyn Dodgers win their first and only World Series?
Tay Newman does a great job of coming in and silencing the Miners there in the fifth, coming in relief of Cy Nielsen, and hopefully for the Dons, really maybe a potential chance to finally kind of stabilize things after that big fourth inning.
Yeah, just try and get the momentum shift. Again, this game's been a game of runs from what I've noticed so far. You saw Spanish Fork start off with their first inning burst, and now you have Park City, who came out with their big 4-run fourth inning, and now you hope that Spanish Fork can turn things around there with a good clean inning. And now you have up to bat for their half, kind of the beginning part of their order, and the heart to be exact. It's a dangerous lineup for sure, so anything can happen. And obviously Spanish Fork playing at home where they played so well. 13-1 now on the year with the win this morning over Ridgeline. They're just absolutely dominant. They hope that they can finish things off in the winner's bracket heading into Ogden.
Yeah, and keying things off here in the fifth is going to be Pintar, Nielsen, and Massey. So 2, 3, 4 here for the Dons, and a great opportunity to potentially take the lead back and get themselves, as Jake was saying, they really want to get themselves set up so that they're still in that winner's bracket as they head over into Ogden. It will really make their life so much easier. So if they can figure out a way to take this second game here at Nelson Field, it really sets them up nicely for a good run in the 4A state playoffs this year. Again, they were able to make it to the quarterfinals last year, but this is a team that has lots of veteran experience, a deep rotation, and enough power in this lineup that really they can make some noise once they do get out there into Ogden. So stepping up to the plate here for the Dons is Andrew Pintar. Andrew Pintar, a key part of this Dons lineup, especially in this game. He hit a triple-T triple in the first that scored Tane Newman, and he also had a single in the third as he sprays that one up in the air, an infield fly there, and that is going to be reined in by the second baseman. So popped up there is Andrew Pintar, his first out of the game thus far for him, 2 for 3 on the day, and it'll be the first out of the bottom of the fifth.
I've just been really impressed at how Ryan Jeffrey has settled in and how he's pitched. And surprisingly, he's outpitched Cy Nielsen today. We didn't think we'd say that at the beginning of this ball game, but really things have turned. He's settled in after having cramp issues in the first as he gets another fly out over to the right side of the infield. 2 in a row, and he sets down Nielsen and Pintar quietly.
Yeah, 2 pop-ups to start the bottom of the fifth. Not very characteristic of the Dons there. So 2 quick outs here for Jeffrey in the bottom of the fifth. It will bring up cleanup hitter Tyson Massey. Massey had a sac fly in the third inning, was the last RBI driven in for the Dons. He did also get hit by a pitch in the first as he takes that one for strike one here in the fifth inning. He's going to take that one high and outside, evens up the count here at 1-1.
Of course, it is still a one-run ball game, and for Spanish Fork, all they got to do is just get people on base. It's kind of been the central message of this game.
That one going to be sprayed back to the backstop, so count now moves to 1-2 to Massey. It's just weird how that is, Jake, because it feels like those 4 runs were it was more than just 4 runs. Like they really are only down by 1 at this point, but it feels a lot worse than that as Massey rips this one out into the outfield. A little bit of stumbling out there in right field makes an opportunity for him to try to advance. Instead, he is going to be safe. They are going to call him safe over there at second base. It looked like the tag potentially was applied, but they're going to call him safe over there at second base. So Tyson Massey gets himself a 2-Jacks double here in the bottom of the fifth with 2 outs.
And that was a bang-bang play there, but Massey just getting under the tag, it looks like. At least the umpire at second, the second base judge calling him safe there, and they're going to send out a pinch runner for Massey, and it'll be number 21.
Dawson Lee.
Dawson Lee
had been coming in to speed up run for Nielsen, so certainly not new to this. Definitely has some wheels over there at second base, and he may need them as he represents the tying run here in the bottom of the fifth. Up now is Noah Conway for the Dons. Number 5 hitter has struggled to see the ball thus far in this one, has struck out both times in his at-bats. He will take that one low and just a bit outside.
You know, it's the great thing, though. Sorry, I should
You're good.
Not interrupt you there, but the great thing about this game, though, he is 0 for 2. But the game before he went 3 for 3, and it's amazing how quickly things can change in the blink of an eye in baseball.
That one's going to be sprayed foul. First baseman giving chase, but it is going to be up and over the fence, so unable to make the play on that one. It'll move the count to 1-1 to the Dons right fielder. Conway looking for a pitch that he can handle, potentially spray it out into the outfield and be able to score Lee from second base and get this ball game all tied up here in the bottom of the fifth. But again, really the storyline since that first inning has really been Jeffrey as he gets Conway to swing at that one, moves the count to 1-2. Jeffrey really has just settled in since that 3-run first inning and has been everything that the Miners could want for him in these last couple innings.
Yeah, he really has. He's just been the steady force that's kind of given them the momentum, actually, with his great pitching. Dons have a chance, though.
Conway rips this one out into center, and this is going to be the potential tying run. They will throw it in and unable to get there in time as the Dons tie this thing up. Conway with the RBI single advances to second on the throw home, and we have a tie ball game here in the bottom of the fifth. The score is 4-4.
And that is why baseball is great. That is why baseball is great right there. You go 0 for 2 to start, Conway, and then he just comes through with a clutch hit to tie this one up. Going 3 for 3 last game. Conway really has been great. And with the throw to home, he's going to advance to second here, so maybe Spanish Fork isn't done yet. A huge run, though, for the Dons. It felt like things really quieted here at Nelson Field. The fans really were non-existent, it felt like, just kind of stunned by that 4-run fourth inning, and they're right back in it. This whole place was electric when that run came in.
Now batting for the Dons is Hunter Clark. He will be pinch hitting here for Tanner Peterson. Hunter Clark was the number 3 hitter in this morning's game against Ridgeline, and so he will come in here to pinch hit for Peterson, and with an opportunity here to regain the lead for the Dons, as it is Noah Conway over there at second base in scoring position after that big RBI single that tied things up. Count is 1-0 here to the pinch hitter Clark. He's going to hold off on that one and gets the call there as the count now moves to 2-0.
Boy, Nelson Field really has changed since that hit. Everybody's alive and talking, cheering. This is such a big game for the Dons if they can win this one to stay in the winner's bracket going to Ogden. That one 3-0.
Yep. 3-0 here to Hunter Clark. It'll just be so much easier for them to head to Ogden and know that they really only will have to play that one game on Wednesday most likely. And so just to have that confidence and to be able to head into Ogden knowing that you've still got two outs essentially. You know, you still have a freebie, as that one is going to be 4 straight balls. So Hunter Clark does a good job there in his pinch hit appearance to just be patient, gets himself over to first base, and it is going to bring up, it looks like this is Josh Dart that's going to be batting here. Was Morley Bennett's spot, but Morley Bennett was subbed out of the game when Cy Nielsen moved out to center after pitching. So it'll be the left-handed hitting Josh Dart now up with runners on first and second here in the fifth.
Yeah, and Dart took Newman's place over at third last inning as Newman went in to take relief of Cy Nielsen. And Park City's out there. They're going to have a word, and I think it was timely for them. The Miners, it looked like Jeffrey was just starting to slip again, and he had a rough first start of the game. Really composed himself and had an excellent middle of the ball game, really just silencing this Dons offense. They're going to keep him out there, though, with 2 outs here. Runner on third, runner on first. It's going to be huge.
So Jeffrey,
I should say second, actually, sorry.
Josh Dart.
Yeah, Jeffrey has allowed 1 run here in the fifth, so this ball game is all tied up here at 4-4. Second game of the 4A state playoffs. The Dons against the Miners of Park City. It'll be Josh Dart now up. His first plate appearance here in this one, as he was subbed in here when the pitching change happened with Cy Nielsen. This one ripped out into center, and it will fall, and that is potentially going to be another run for the Dons. Down. Absolutely amazing hit there by Josh Dart. Crushes that first pitch he sees from Jeffrey, gets himself an RBI single, and the Dons retake the lead here in the fifth, as it is now 5-4.
They've come alive in this fifth inning, and like we were saying, we were just waiting for them to kind of grab the momentum back. It's such a potent offense that they can just click at any point, and to have Josh Dart come off, subbing in and getting such a clutch hit. It really has been the sum of its parts here for the Dons to be able to have all these hitters coming through when you least expect it, too. I mean, and that's just been this team. They've been a complete unit. They've been able to get lots of contribution from different players. And exciting to watch. And, of course, everybody here, Dons fans, are all excited. They retake the lead.
Runners on first and second here in the bottom of the fifth, 2 outs. It's Cade Randolph up for the Dons. He's going to take that one low and outside. Moves the count now to a good hitter's count here, 2-0 to the Dons' second baseman. Randolph is 1 for 2 on the game. Grounded out to short in his first at bat, but then had a single in the fourth. So 1 for 2 on the game. 2 runs here across for the Dons here in the fifth as they've retaken the lead here. Randolph rips that one out into left, but it is going to be foul and over by the cars over there as you see on your screen. The count is now 2-1 to Randolph.
I think it's dangerous here with Jeffrey pitching. They decided to keep him out. But sitting at 2-1, if it weren't for that fall, he'd be 2-0, and now it's 3-0. He's just kind of losing his confidence, I feel like. Kind of command starting to slip. And Spanish Fork kind of paid the price for it when they let Cy Nielsen out, and they realized it was time to take him out. It just wasn't his day. It might be the same case for Park City.
This one is spoiled away by Randolph. It'll make this now a full count here with 2 outs in the bottom of the fifth. Once again, a view of our camera crew as that one kind of sailed right past them. So full count here to Cade Randolph, bottom of the fifth, 2 outs, runners on first and second. Randolph with an opportunity to continue to extend the Dons' lead as they just retook the lead on an RBI single by but defensive replacement Josh Dart, who came in when Cy Nielsen moved off the mound and Newman moved over to pitch for the Dons. And so Dart comes in, gets his first at bat, and makes it a good one. That one poked over towards second base, and he will not be able to beat out the throw. But Spanish Fork retakes the lead here on 2 big hits. So score now 5-4 as we head over to the 6th inning, which we will get to you when we come back on Spanish Fork 17.
Need a new car or truck? Come to the guys you trust. The Car Guys are part of the Blue Diamond Auto Group, and they have the best selection of quality vehicles at the best prices for your budget. The Blue Diamond Auto Group with the Car Guys at 872 North Main in Spanish Fork.
Finally got me, Ben.
What's that, Rick?
The Clark Street crater, the mother of all potholes. Got me good.
But you know State Farm's got you too.
You ain't nothing!
Go with the one that's here to help life go right.
In Spanish Fork, see your good neighbor State Farm agent Lance Wilson.
Hi, welcome to 2 Jacks Pizza.
For the best pizza you'll ever taste and our world-famous cheese sticks, come to 2 Jacks Pizza on Main Street in Spanish Fork or call us for a quick delivery. Are you hungry yet?
I definitely recommend the Driggs team. They're amazing.
Hi, I'm Greg with the Driggs Mortgage Team, where we believe there's no substitute for experience. Stop by our office today on Main Street and let us help you get into your brand new home.
Welcome back to Spanish Fork 17. We are in the 6th inning of this classic here in the 4A state playoffs. It is the Spanish Fork Dons up against the Park City Miners, as this one has been a back and forth affair, and that back and forth now swings more towards the Dons as that one is hit over towards Pintar. He is unable to field that one cleanly, went for the backhand, and it just crept up on him. So able to get on base there for the Miners here to start things off is Kellen Dankers.
Yeah, that one just hit off the heel of Pintar's glove. It was kind of bouncing, kind of backed up to try and play the safe option, and it just kind of hopped to the point that he didn't field it cleanly, kind of hit off the heel, once, like I said. And another error. Once again, those little plays end up being huge. Hopefully Spanish Fork can limit Dankers from moving up and scoring.
Trying to play a little bit of small ball there as Vlasic squared up for the bunt, let it go, and was able to take that one for ball 1. So a 1-0 count here to the shortstop for the Miners. He hit a single in his last at bat and was able to score on the pass ball. He actually ended up advancing twice on pass balls off of Cy Nielsen that scored it past Horain. That one worked in there very nicely by Newman for strike 1. Evens up the count here at 1-1.
Yeah, Blazic on the year has had 17 RBIs, so he's one of those guys that can drive in people. Another dangerous at bat for Park City. And like we said at the beginning, Park City's got a potent lineup, just like Spanish Fork.
Horan sends it over to first base. He will be safe over there at first. Again, that's Kellen Dankers over there who got on base on the error by Pintar. As you see the Dons in the dugout there. Those rally mitts going on there, trying to get things going. That one is sprayed foul, a bunt that not able to lay that one down as well as he could have. So the count now moves to 1-2 on Vlasic.
Yeah, I love the passion that both of these teams have shown today. You know, it's the second game, obviously, but they love it being out here. They just enjoy this game so much. You saw Park City when they had their 4-run fourth inning, players running out, jumping all over each other, and you've seen Spanish Fork do it multiple times as well. In fact, with the rally caps and everything, you see the unity of the squad as that one is just outside and puts the count full. But great teamwork. And these guys have played their hearts out and have had excellent years, both of these teams.
Yeah, both teams with phenomenal seasons, and obviously were able to win their first game here at State, as that one is going to be in the dirt for ball 4. So a nice job there by Vlasic to work the count full. He gets himself a free ticket over there to first base. Dankers moves over to second base. So Newman in early trouble here in the top of the 6th with 2 runners on.
Yeah, just a struggle right now to start.
Number 17, Connor Hagen.
Connor Hagen going to be up now to hit for Park City and pitch hit. And that'll be in place of Pointer, the right fielder. So far on the year, we have Hayden, the sophomore, hitting .389 on the year with 4 RBIs. So he's been able to do a good job of getting on base. So a much needed at bat here, and we're getting into the stretches of this game where hits are critical. Park City down 1 right now, but they're in a good position with nobody out and runners on first and second.
Yeah, definitely an opportunity here for them to potentially manufacture a run with no outs here. You got to think that they brought in Hayden potentially to lay down a sacrifice bunt, move these guys over into scoring position, but we'll see what happens here. Again, he has made the most of his opportunities, as you said there, Jake. That's a pretty high batting average for a guy that it seems like has been, for the most part, been on the bench for them. But when he comes in, he's been very productive, and so we'll see what happens here in this at-bat. Again, Newman on the mound for the Dons came in relief for Cy Nielsen. Had 3 strikeouts in his first inning, and now just in a bit of a jam here to start things off in the 6th, but he will work that one in here for strike 1 to Hayden.
Hayden thinking bunt there, too. Not a bad idea, honestly, for Park City. Nobody out, try and advance both the runners.
He'll show bunt once again. This one laid down beautifully. Actually gets almost past Newman, and it is going to be safe. That is a perfectly placed bunt there by Connor Hayden. It's going to load the bases up now with no outs in the top of the 6th.
Yeah, I mean, that was the one place that he could hit it that really was going to be dangerous. You had Massey over there at first kind of running up on it. First baseman trying to play it close, and then, of course, you had Dart over at third who didn't want to give up the base to the base runner. Just bunted it right past the pitcher.
The designated hitter Ryan Hunt now up for the Miners. He will take that one for ball 1, and once again they're showing bunt.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting in this case. I thought it was a wise move last time, but now thinking bunt again, maybe that's just for show.
Oh, beautiful pitch by Newman. Spins in that curveball nicely for strike 1.
I think they're just trying to get Newman to kind of get off the plate, maybe intimidate him with the bunt there. But a good pitch there, like you said, on the off speed.
Here comes that 1-1 pitch from Newman. This one ripped and over the head of Pintar, and that is going to at least be 1 run, potentially 2. It is going to be a 2 RBI single for the designated hitter Ryan Hunt, as this back and forth game has swung back over to the Park City Miners. They recaptured the lead here in the 6th. The score is now 6-5.
Clutch hit again, and that one just right outside the glove of Pintar, and good piece of hitting. All they had to do was get it in the outfield pretty much, and that's what he did, and Park City just comes right back with 2 runs of their own to retake the lead 6-5.
Big hit there from the number 9 hitter for the Miners. Again, not a typical spot that you would expect big production, but Ryan Hunt comes in and does his job, gets the 2 RBI single there, retakes the lead for the Miners. There is some discussion with the coach, with his hitter there. This is
it's going to be a hitting change, I believe.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, Ryan Cook.
Ryan Cook coming in, pinch hitting for Alex Chachas. As that one is going to miss for ball 1. Again, Ryan Cook coming in to pinch hit for Alex Chachas for the Miners. He is going to show bunt. He is going to bunt it down. And this one, once again, at Newman, they are going to make the play over there at third base, and they get it. A nice job by Newman to gobble that ball up, send it over to Josh Dart, and they're able to get the first out of the inning. And luckily for them, it cuts off that lead runner.
Yeah, exactly. That was a critical play there. And Newman looked like he was bobbling it as he got it over there, the third, to throw that one to Dart, and he just got it in time. And Dart with the wise play to get on the base there and make it over there and tag him just for sure as well.
So Clark comes in, bunts it over at Newman. Newman does a good job of sending it over to third base, cuts off that lead runner, and gets the first out of the inning here in the top of the 6th. And it will bring up Ryan Jeffrey now for the Miners, who has struck out twice and has walked in this game.
So Ryan Buchanan, it sounds like, is going to, or Concannon, I should say, is going to pinch run over there at second. Kind of a more speedy guy.
Again, using those speed-up rules here in high school really can help with manufacturing runs, as that is going to be a check swing there for a strike.
Oh, but this is going to be interesting. They got a pickle over at second. Really a jam there.
Not wanting to move anywhere is the guy over there at third, so they will get out over there at first base. So a nice heads-up play there by the Dons defense to get themselves an extra out, and so now 2 outs in the inning here.
Yeah, so there's Ryan Hunt over there, just kind of got trapped. He was expecting the runner in front of him to kind of advance, and he just slowly got halfway in between, and then once that happened, there was nowhere for him to go, and a good fundamental baseball by the Dons to get a key second out.
That one worked in there for a strike, so evens up the count here at 1-1 to Jeffrey. Actually should be 0-2 to Jeffrey. My apologies, as he got the check swing call on his last pitch. The count now moves to 1-2 after that one just misses outside.
Such a critical point for the Dons here if they can get out of this one without that run coming in.
Newman just needing a strike to get out of it, and that is exactly what happens. Newman gets his 4th strikeout of the game, and it is a huge one as it moves us over to the bottom of the 6th, but not before the Park City Miners were able to scratch across 2 runs and retake the lead in this key matchup here in round 2. Park City with the lead 6-5. Gives us some time here to thank our fantastic sponsors who make these broadcasts possible on Spanish Fork 17.
Of course, as you see the Spanish Fork team huddling over there, we'd like to thank our sponsors, the Blue Diamond Auto Group, attorneys at law, Mikkel Thompson and Wise, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, State Farm in the offices of Lance Wilson, Driggs Mortgage Team, MVP Sports, and 2 Jacks Pizza. Of course, like we were saying, you can always watch these games on Spanish Fork 17 Live. You can watch them on YouTube as well, stream them live. And like we were saying, depending on the results of this game, we may be able to get you the coverage of next week's ball game. If Spanish Fork can make it to the winner's bracket, we'll be up there in Ogden, hopefully helping bring you coverage of the Dons and, of course, Spanish Fork baseball. And we're proud to do so. It's been a great year for not only Spanish Fork, but all the other teams we covered, Maple Mountain as well, Salem Hills, Lehigh. They've all done a great job. Looking at the bracket as well, we were talking about it earlier with you have Lehigh and Salem Hills, I should say, both winning in their ends of the bracket earlier today. It's been a good day overall for League 10 baseball. See if Spanish Fork can come in the bottom of the sixth inning, and bring this one back.
As it is a new pitcher on the mound here for the Miners. That is Nick Stokes in now for Park City, as Ryan Jeffrey will take a seat, and he's definitely done kind of an interesting game for Jeffrey, as he struggled in the first and then settled down really nicely for innings 2 through 4, but then kind of had things open right back up for him again in the fifth. But they go ahead and pull the plug on his night after 5 innings of 5 runs, 4 of those being earned. And it was a barrage of Spanish Fork hits, really. They ended up with 7 hits off of Jeffrey and a couple walks, and so kind of a mixed bag for Jeffrey, but enough obviously to keep the Miners in. This one is, once again, we had another foul ball that was kind of heading right towards our window here.
Yeah. If you watch the first game, we had one that almost went in the window on the right side, and then now Andrew got his chance at it, sort of. Just sailed a little high.
Yeah, if I'd had my glove. And that one is going to potentially drop for, it is, nice little piece of hitting there, able to just get enough of it there.
Yeah, it kind of looked like from the eye that it was going to go into center field, and then Chachas was able to range over and grab that one, but a smart decision on his part not to throw it over to first, just eat it up and avoid giving a costly run there. But a big hit again. Spanish Fork getting on the board, really getting runners on.
Yep, none other than Skylar Horain, who had a big game offensively in game number 1 here this morning, 2 for 2 and a hit by pitch, and now it's him once again from that 9-hole getting things started, and it's Newman now up to bat. He will show bunt as they throw it over there to keep Horain close.
Stokes on the year has 9 appearances, by the way, with a 4.79 ERA and 30 2/3 innings pitched. So
a beautiful one laid down the first base line. So a nice sacrifice bunt there by Tay Newman advances Horain over to second base, as the Dons are playing some small ball here in the 6th.
What they do well. We've seen it multiple times, multiple games. The small ball technique, and really this is where it comes in play. If you're able to play good small ball and get runners in, this is where it really helps in the playoffs.
Yeah, and right now this is the guy that you want up at the plate in this situation is Andrew Pintar. A triple in the first, a single in the third, as that one is going to be fouled away. So it's an 0-1 count here to the power hitting shortstop for the Dons. He did pop out in his last at bat over there to second base in the previous inning here in the 5th, but 2 for 3 on the day with 2 runs scored, an RBI on that triple. So certainly a key part of this Dons lineup, and again, as I said, probably the guy that you want up right now in this situation.
Him and the guy after, Cy Nielsen.
Absolutely. That one just barely misses there. Looked like that one could have caught the outside corner, but it moves the count now to even at 1-1.
Talked about timely hits. We had Conway last inning with the key single to help bring the Dons back into the lead. Now they're trailing once again, as looks like step off the mound here for Nick Stokes. This is where the clutch hits come in play.
And few hitters in this lineup have been as clutch this season as Andrew Pintar. That one is going to be a swing and a miss. It goes in the dirt there. But it moves the count now to 1-2 to Pintar. Again, the winner of this one gets themselves set up nicely, as this 4A state playoffs moves over to Ogden, Utah, starting on Wednesday, and we will get you as much coverage of that as we can here at Spanish Fork 17. That one is going to be fouled away by Pintar, keeps himself alive here at 1-2.
That pitch was tailing away. It was kind of going to the outside part, kind of worked in and out, and Pintar doing a good job just reaching out and slapping that one back behind the backstop.
1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. The score 6-5, a 1-run lead for the Miners of Park City over the Dons of Spanish Fork. This one is going to be sent over towards third base. A little bit of a crazy mashup there as it's bobbled, and Pintar's going to be safe on the error, and just it looks like more than anything they were trying so hard to keep Horain there at second base. Instead, he finds his way over to third after the bobble, and so very dangerous situation here as the Dons now have runners on the corners and the big bat of Cy Nielsen up.
Yeah, Agnew just, I don't know what happened exactly. I don't know if it was on the transfer or what, that he just kind of bobbled that one, but here we are again, another error, another opportunity for the Dons.
Because really a lot of that first inning, the issues there were miscues for the Miners, and so here again a miscue for Park City, and it could cost them big here in the bottom of the sixth as Cy Nielsen takes that one low and outside for ball one.
Yeah, and I am making it sound like there have been a lot of errors in this game. There really have. There's only been a few, but they've been key and costly. But this really has been an amazing ball game so far. With the many lead changes that we've seen from both teams, just playing spirited baseball.
That one is going to be swung on there by Nielsen, so it'll move the count to even here at 1-1.
I'm looking at this guy right now, though, Cy Nielsen, and I think he wants some redemption, obviously, for this one, for the game he pitched. You know, it wasn't a bad outing by any means, but by his standards, I'm sure that he wishes he had it back. And this is his chance here to redeem himself at the plate.
This one he rips out into left field. Getting a beat on it, though, and catching it, but not before they are able to get a sac fly on it. Nielsen sends it out far enough to be able to tie this thing back up as Horain scores on the sacrifice fly by Cy Nielsen. And once again, we're all knotted up here at Nelson Field at 6-6.
Yep.
In the sixth.
6-6.
Oh, no.
Well, what a hit, though, by Nielsen, and it wasn't anything spectacular. You just, like we said, get it into the outfield, play that smart baseball, and get the runs in. And now you got a tie ball game. You got a runner on second as well with the throw in. Massey, of course, had a single last time and a sac fly as well to add.
That one is going to be sent out into center field.
That might be dangerous.
Kind of keeps carrying center field. They're able to nestle under that one, so that is going to be the end of the sixth here, but not before Spanish Fork ties this ball game back up. It is 6-6 heading into the critical seventh inning. We'll get you the rest of today's action when we come back on Spanish Fork 17.
Nobody plans on getting in an accident, but if it does happen, you can rely on the expertise of Mike McKell to protect and fight for your rights. Specializing in personal injury law, Mike McKell is the attorney you need. Contact Mike at McKell, Thompson & Wise.
The best time to check your furnace is before it fails, and you can rely on Triple T to do the job right. Our technicians are trained every year so you can sleep better at night, knowing your furnace is safe to operate. Call Triple T at 798-7711 to schedule your tune-up today.
MVP Sports is the #1 source for sporting goods in Spanish Fork. Football, soccer, all the fall sports, we've got you covered. Check out our new custom t-shirt builder. Design at home and we'll build it for you. MVP Sports, 72 North Main in Spanish Fork.
It is all tied up here on Spanish Fork 17 as we head into crunch time here in this one. This is game 2 of the 4A state playoffs. Again, all tied up here 6-6. The Dons against the Miners of Park City. And it looks like there is a pitching change here for the Dons. Mason Olson for his second appearance of the day today, as he is the one that came in and finished off things in game 1 against Ridgeline, and now he is tasked to do the same thing here in this one. Gets a big swing and a miss there from Max Mobley to start things off in the top of the 7th.
Yeah, Olson has been one of the 3 guys, like you said, for this Dons team that have carried the load. And he gets a big fly up here to see if they can make the play.
Randolph able to call off Massey, gets it, and so first out of the inning here for Mason Olson.
Olson's been huge. And Olson last game, he gave up a couple runs in the 7th. It was a little bit shaky, but overall did a good job, was able to secure the win. But overall in the year, he's been excellent. He's had a 1.47 ERA in 28 2/3 innings pitched with 7 appearances.
So Mobley pops up to the second baseman for the first out. It is now Ben Agnew up for the Miners, and he will take that first pitch for strike one. Oh, beautiful curveball there from Olson. Snaps it beautifully on the inside part of the plate. Puts Agnew in a hole here at 0-2.
You can tell from when he released it, and he's ready to go, too. He's waiting for the hitter to step in the box so he can release another one.
This one going to be low and outside. Trying to get Agnew to chase. He will not do so, so moves the count to 1-2. Yeah, and this thing is all tied up 6-6 here in the top of the 7th. Oh, big swing and a miss there from Agnew. Horain will send it over to first base, and that will be out number 2 of the inning here in the top of the 7th. So nice strikeout there for Olson.
Olson just doing a great job stepping in and getting command and taking control with the heart of the lineup, especially for Park City coming in. He's done a great job and has really dominated so far.
Yeah, that was the number 3 and number 4 hitters in this minor lineup. And so now is Austin Davison up for them, number 5 hitter. He's going to take that first pitch for ball 1.
Davison, another one of their scary hitters as well.
He's had kind of a struggle in today's game. Struck out twice and has been walked. He'll watch that one paint the outside corner for strike 1. So an even count here at 1-1. He did score as part of that big 4-run 4th inning that Park City had. That one's going to be low and inside. 2-1 count.
Yeah, like you said, he had a single in the 4th inning as part of that 4-run 4th. It's been a great ball game overall.
Oh, absolutely fantastic. It's just been back and forth and get a little bit of everything, as that one's going to be fouled back to the backstop. So evens up the count at 2-2. Seen some dominant pitching. You've seen some good timely hitting. You've seen kind of just a little bit of everything in this particular game. As that one's ripped over towards Pintar, he'll gobble it up, send it over to first, and that is going to end the top half of this one, as Spanish Fork now with an opportunity to walk it off here potentially in the bottom of the 7th. That the score is all knotted up at 6-6. Gives us an opportunity here to thank our wonderful sponsors and everything that they do for us to make these broadcasts possible. On Spanish Fork 17, that is State Farm, Lance Wilson, the Driggs Mortgage Team, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, MVP Sports, 2 Jacks Pizza, the Car Guys at the Blue Diamond Auto Group, and McKell, Thompson & Wise, attorneys at law. So heading here into the 7th inning, this thing is all knotted up at 6. Spanish Fork, if they can get a run across, will end up taking this game and be able to take some momentum as they head into Ogden and be able to be in a great position, as they will be in the winner's bracket and will have not taken a loss here at Nelson Field. So they'll have 2 opportunities to keep rolling in the 4A state playoffs.
Yeah, this is it. This is where it really builds for them. They had a good game against Ridgeline where it was just it was a really close pitcher's duel. They were able to fight through a 7th inning where Ridgeline seemed to be coming back. Now they have the opportunity to take this one at home in a game that really has been toughly fought against Park City. Park City, both them and Spanish Fork, have just been resilient in terms of being able to respond and put runs up when it seems like the momentum has shifted. So, like you said, it's a critical one. And this is the opportunity you have here in the bottom of the 7th to really build some confidence. And most importantly, to get the win. You want the win more than anything else. It's all about surviving and advancing in the playoffs.
Being able to come away with this one will be huge for the Dons, as it is Noah Conway that steps in here in the bottom of the 7th to get things started for the Dons. That one is going to hit him. Tried to dance out of the way. It just nicks him. So he will take his base, head on over to first. And that is the game-winning run over there now at first base.
Take them any way they come on a first pitch strikeout, or on a first pitch ball that went inside. It was a fastball. So now you have Conway over at first. Big opportunity here is Spanish Fork fans in wide attendance here watching this one, hoping to see their Dons come away with the win here.
Now batting number 15, Tanner Peterson.
It'll be Tanner Peterson back up for the Dons. Peterson has had a bit of a struggle here at the plate. He's going to lay down a beauty of a bunt that will send Noah Conway over to second base, so a nice bit of small ball there from the Dons left fielder. Gets his guy over in scoring position.
Now batting number 9, Josh Dart.
Noah Conway now over there at second base, and digging in is Josh Dart, the left-handed hitting third baseman for the Dons. Had an RBI single in his first at-bat of the game and would certainly love to replicate that and potentially put the stamp on this one.
Dart's been great. He had a key hit there. And, of course, the bottom of this lineup overall has just been excellent from Peterson on and Conway even as well. Just done a great job top to bottom of hitting. You'd think to be putting 6 runs on the board, you'd be coming away at the win, but the way that this game's gone, it's really just been one of those classic offensive fests, and it's been a pleasure to watch overall. We'll see what he can do here. Runner on second base, all you have to do is get in the outfield.
Yep.
Get the ball in the outfield.
They're going to go for the intentional walk as they are.
And that makes sense, the way Dart's been hitting.
The way Dart has been hitting, again, that RBI single in the 5th, they don't want to mess with him as he's a big left-handed bat in this Dons lineup and already done well in his first plate appearance, so he will get the intentional walk. He'll head over to first base. That will bring up Cade Randolph for the Dons. Again, Randolph is 1 for 3 in this game. This one is going to be sprayed foul, gets under it, and goes beyond that. Actually, it's going to be Mason Olson that's up for the Dons. He will be pinch hitting for Cade Randolph here. In an interesting move here for Coach Nelson.
Yeah, Olson coming in to replace it was Tay Newman earlier, pitching-wise. See what Olson can do.
So here comes that 0-1 pitch to Olson.
One fouled off. I think that the fans here kind of thought that was just a loose ball. Kind of a wild pitch, but Olson stands in there.
Unfortunate break there for the Dons, but it does move the count to 0-2 now to Olson. Again, runners on first and second. This thing all tied up at 6 here in the 7th. As that is a too close for comfort pitch there, but it is called a ball, so now a 1-2 count here to Olson.
Yeah, that was really close, honestly. I kind of thought it might have been a strike there. Just off enough. Olson stays alive.
That one is popped up in the infield. That'll be a nice play over there by the shortstop. 2 outs now here in the bottom of the 7th. It is now do or die time here for the Dons, or they're going to be heading over into extra innings. But not a bad guy to have up to the plate at this point is Skylar Horain.
Yeah, it was really interesting that they went with Mason Olson there hitting, by the way. You know, Olson, at least in max preps, I'm not sure how accurate it is, but he hasn't been recorded as having an at-bat. So kind of interesting to have him out there, but I'm sure that they just kind of had to eat it there with him pitching.
Horain with the big cut there. Foul tips it into the catcher's glove for strike 1.
Yeah, Horain going for the win there. He's going for the big swing. 2 outs, but all he needs is a base hit. You don't have to go for the home run ball here.
Just need to get something out in the outfield. So here comes that 0-1 pitch to Horain. This one in the dirt, and it is going to be enough to advance the runners into scoring position. So now the game-winning run only 90 feet away after that pass ball. And so it's an even count here, 1-1 to Horain. And now victory is just that much closer.
Yeah, this is it. All he has to do is get it into play.
Horain rips it up the center. It is going to be fielded by the shortstop, and that is going to end the 7th inning. Horain almost getting the Dons the win here. Instead, we are going to head into extra innings. We'll get you those extra innings when we come back on Spanish Fork 17.
Need a new car or truck? Come to the guys you trust. The Car Guys are part of the Blue Diamond Auto Group, and they have the best selection of quality vehicles at the best prices for your budget. The Blue Diamond Auto Group with the Car Guys at 872 North Main in Spanish Fork.
Finally got me, Ben.
What's that, Rick?
The Clark Street crater, the mother of all potholes. Got me good.
But you know State Farm's got you too.
You ain't nothing.
Go with the one that's here to help life go right.
In Spanish Fork, see your good neighbors State Farm agent Lance Wilson.
Hi, welcome to 2 Jack's Pizza.
For the best pizza you'll ever taste and our world-famous cheese sticks, come to 2 Jack's Pizza on Main Street in Spanish Fork or call us for a quick delivery. Are you hungry yet?
I definitely recommend the Driggs team. They're amazing.
Hi, I'm Greg with the Driggs Mortgage Team, where we believe there's no substitute for experience. Stop by our office today on Main Street and let us help you get into your brand new home.
It's bonus baseball time here on Spanish Fork 17 as we move over to the 8th inning of this absolute classic thus far. Here at Nelson Field, it is the Spanish Fork Dons up against the Park City Miners. This thing is all knotted up at 6 after the Miners were able to get things all tied up in the 6th at 6-6. Both teams unable to score anything in the 7th as we move on over here to extra innings. Mason Olson back on the mound here for the Dons. That first pitch, a ball. So a 1-0 count here to Kellen Denkers. This one is fouled away, so it'll even up the count at 1-1.
Denkers has been great today, 3 for 3 so far, 3 singles. Actually, I should add a walk, actually, the first one. And he has 2 singles after that, but nevertheless has been able to get on base as that brings the count to 1-2.
Denkers definitely doing his job from the number 6 spot in the lineup. It'll be Denkers, Vlasic, and Hayden that'll be up for the Dons, and that is strike 3. A nice pitch there by Mason Olson to get Denkers swinging on that one. That's the first out of the inning here in the 8th.
And a huge one if you can get a guy like Denkers out who's been pretty good this ball game on the offensive end. Good way to start, and now you have Vlasic up who walked his last time up.
That one's going to be worked in there for strike 1. A great pitch from Olson.
You kind of sense the feeling that Spanish Fork has kind of taken the momentum back in this one.
They certainly seem a little bit more amped up than Park City as that one is ripped out into the outfield. Right as we say, momentum is potentially there for the Dons. It could now be an opportunity for Park City to take it back.
Well, I'm no doctor. I'll admit that. As soon as I say that there's momentum, and then you get a big hit from Vlasic there. So proving me wrong there, and I'm sure the Park City fans appreciate that.
It'll be Evan Pointer back up for the Dons for the Miners. So again, runner on first here with 1 out in the top of the 8th in this extra innings game here. That'll be strike 1 to Evan Pointer. That one a beautiful curveball. I did not think it was going to get called as a strike, but getting a little bit of love there from the ump, and so it is an early hole here for Pointer, 0-2.
Wilson has done that a couple of times so far in his outing.
This one spoiled away there by Pointer. He keeps himself alive on this 0-2 count. A fun game here at the ballpark at Nelson Field. Hopefully you've got your friends tuning in on Spanish Fork 17 or on the YouTube channel, because this has been an absolute classic thus far, as that one is also fouled away there by Pointer. Again, the score is 6-6 here in the top of the 8th. An extra inning of baseball here on Spanish Fork 17. Again, thanks for being here with us and sticking around for this extra amount of baseball. It's an 0-2 count here. Mason Olson up against Evan Pointer. He will take that one in the dirt. So the count now moves to 1-2.
And if this game's been great, and obviously if you watch the first one, it was also another great ball game. Just imagine what we have in store for you for the rest of the playoffs.
Absolutely. Cut on and foul tipped just barely there by Pointer. Keeps himself alive on this 1-2 count. After Pointer will be Ryan Hunt. And then back to the top of the order for the Miners. Hunt with one of the bigger hits in this game for the Miners. He had an RBI single that brought the lead back over to the that tied this ball game up. Actually, my apologies, tied the ball game up in the 6th inning. So he's definitely a good bat for them to have up here in this tight game here in the 8th. So that one fouled away once again by Pointer. The count is still 1-2.
Pointer doing a great job of fighting off these pitches, getting a couple of these foul balls to stay alive.
Yes, in the words of the Bee Gees, that time unable to do so. Swings at that high outside cheese from Olson, who now has his 3rd strikeout of the game. And now there's 2 outs here in the top of the 8th, but again, it does bring up their designated hitter, Ryan Hunt. That one grooved in there nicely by Olson for strike 1.
Olson, the kind of guy, too, what's great about this is if we do go another inning potentially, this is a guy that can go extra innings. He has the length and the durability.
Oh, fantastic curveball that does not get called for a strike, and there is some upset fans here at Nelson Field. Definitely heard the displeasure on that one.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that was there. It looked like it. Just off.
Big cut just spoils it away, does Hunt, so the count now moves to 1-2. Again, strong relief appearance here from Mason Olson. 3 strikeouts thus far in his effort here. Tane Newman, for the most part, pitched a decent relief effort for Cy Nielsen, as well as Mason Olson catches that inside corner. A beautiful pitch, his 4th strikeout of the game, and that is a big one as it keeps the Miners from scoring here in the top of the 8th. And once again, Spanish Fork is set up to potentially walk it off here as we head over to the bottom of the 8th. It gives us an opportunity to thank our wonderful sponsors and everything they do to help us make these broadcasts possible on Spanish Fork 17.
Yeah, once again, Extra Innings Baseball here, brought to you by the Blue Diamond Auto Group, the attorneys at law of Mikkel Thompson and Wise, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, State Farm, the offices of Lance Wilson, Drake's Mortgage Team, MVP Sports, and 2 Jack's Pizza.
As we head over here to the bottom of the 8th, it looks like this game's going right down to the wire, folks, which, of course, we did kind of expect this one, as Park City is an absolutely phenomenal team, and so it's been a fun one here at Nelson Field. It looks like it is Nick Stokes still on the mound here for the Miners. They're hoping to get a little bit more work out of him and to be able to extend this game over into the 9th so that the Miners have a chance of taking this one at Nelson Field and moving on to Ogden, still firmly in the winner's bracket. Leading things off for the Dons is going to be the top of the order, so certainly as good of an opportunity as you can have here for the Dons to finally shut the door on this game and be able to come away with 2 wins to start off the playoffs. So it'll be Newman, Pintar, and Nielsen here in the bottom of the 8th. Newman has had a bit of a struggle in this game, but he was one of the runs that scored. He scored on a strikeout as he's going to lay this one down right in front of the pitcher, and it is not going to be fielded cleanly. A nice bunt there by Tay Newman to get himself on board to get things started here in the bottom of the 8th.
Yeah, that one in the grass just kind of dying out, and I think that he's expecting to get a bigger hop than he did, and then just didn't happen to, and he's frustrated, obviously. Stokes thought he could have made that play, and now you have the winning run on first base again for Spanish Fork.
Winning run on first base, and one of the better hitters in the lineup now up in Andrew Pintar. 2 for 4 on the game. This one crushed out into center field. Potentially dangerous, still going back as the center fielder. He is able to make the play on that one as Pintar just absolutely blasted that thing, unfortunately for him, out to the deepest part of the ballpark.
That's a loud out. That is a loud
as
out.
loud of an out as you can get.
What a great play, though, out in center by, I believe that's Mobley, just running back and making a good beat on that play. It looked like it was going to go over his head, but sure enough, he got enough of a run, able to get under it and get the running out.
Up now, the big bat of Cy Nielsen, 2 for 3 on the game. His most recent at bat was a sac fly. That is what tied up this ball game, was that sac fly. So Nielsen again up in a situation where the Dons really need his bat. They're going to appeal to the umpire. He is going to say that was not a swing. So nice job there by Nielsen to check it off, and the count is 1-0.
Nielsen, of course, coming through with the sac fly to tie this game up back in the 6th inning when they were down 6-5.
Nielsen started this game for the Dons. He ended up pitching 4 innings, kind of got roughed up in the 4th inning there, and so they ended up taking him out after only 4 innings. But before that, had really looked the part of his usual self, being the staff ace, as that one is poked through the gap there in between the shortstop and third baseman. So a single there for Cy Nielsen that will move Tay Newman over to second base. So 2 runners on here with 1 out in the bottom of the 8th. So the game-winning run now moves 90 feet closer to home plate.
Nielsen is the heart and soul of the Spanish Fork Dons. He honestly is. And when he doesn't have his best pitching performance, he comes out and he goes 3 for 5 and he gets a sac fly and scores in a run. This guy really is the heart of this team, and a critical hit here to get a runner in scoring position.
Now it brings up Tyson Massey, who had a timely hit of his own. He had a double in the 5th and then ended up scoring in that inning. So certainly another guy that can do some damage here for the Dons and potentially get you a win here. The count is 1-0 to him. That one just kisses that inside corner. A nice pitch there from Stokes. Evens the count at 1-1.
This little lefty backdoor curve that just came inside. Just got part of that plate.
Massey crushes it out to center field, and this one is going to be over the center fielder's head potentially.
No, he caught it.
He's able
to
catch it.
What a diving catch in center field. Unbelievable.
What a play by Max Mobley. Lays it out for that, what would have been absolutely the game-winning hit off of the bat of Tyson Massey. Instead, it is a Mikael Thompson and Wise. Great defensive play out there in center field.
You got a speechless.
By Mobley. My goodness. Wow.
Remember Peterson in the first game?
Absolutely do.
Peterson had a Willie Mays-esque catch in the first game for Spanish Fork, I should say. Just got one up there. Mobley just said, I'll answer you back with a diving catch to save the ball game potentially. Unbelievable play.
Conway rips it up the middle, and this could be it, folks. He is running in, and that is going to be the ball game. Noah Conway with the RBI single to walk this thing off. Tay Newman scores from second base, and it is going to be the Dons that will continue to advance in the winner's bracket. They will head to Ogden firmly in the driver's seat as they will be heading, as you now see a replay here. Conway with the rip right up the middle, goes off of the pitcher's mound. You see Tay Newman sliding in there for the final run, and the big celebration is on for the Dons, who take this ball game 7-6. We'll give you a recap of this one when we come back on Spanish Fork 17.
And Spanish Fork 7.
Need a new car or truck? Come to the guys you trust. The Car Guys are part of the Blue Diamond Auto Group, and they have the best selection of quality vehicles at the best prices for your budget. The Blue Diamond Auto Group with the Car Guys at 872 North Main in Spanish Fork.
Finally got me, Ben.
What's that, Rick?
The Clark Street crater, the mother of all potholes. Got me good.
But you know State Farm's got you, too.
You ain't nothing.
Go with the one that's here to help life go right.
In Spanish Fork, see your good neighbor State Farm agent Lance Wilson.
Hi, welcome to Two Jack's Pizza.
For the best pizza you'll ever taste and our world-famous cheese sticks, come to Two Jack's Pizza on Main Street in Spanish Fork or call us for a quick delivery. Are you hungry yet?
I definitely recommend the Driggs team. They're amazing.
Hi, I'm Greg with the Driggs Mortgage Team, where we believe there's no substitute for experience. Stop by our office today on Main Street and let us help you get into your brand new home.
Nobody plans on getting in an accident, but if it does happen, you can rely on the expertise of Mike McKell to protect and fight for your rights. Specializing in personal injury law, Mike McKell is the attorney you need. Contact Mike at McKell, Thompson & Wise.
The best time to check your furnace is before it fails, and you can rely on Triple T to do the job right. Our technicians are trained every year so you can sleep better at night, knowing your furnace is safe to operate. Call Triple T at 798-7711 to schedule your tune-up today.
MVP Sports is the #1 source for sporting goods in Spanish Fork. Football, soccer, all the fall sports, we've got you covered. Check out our new custom t-shirt builder. Design at home and we'll build it for you. MVP Sports, 72 North Main in Spanish Fork.
You just witnessed an absolute dandy here on Spanish Fork 17 as the Dons come away with the extra inning victory here against the Park City Miners 7-6. A walk-off single by Noah Conway seals the fate for the Miners as they will move on to the losers bracket when they head over to Ogden. For the Dons, it will be them moving on to the winners bracket, and they will be playing on Wednesday at 1:30 over at Lindquist Field against potentially Desert Hills or Orem, actually, is what we've heard. So how crazy is that Orem was able to advance, and we could potentially be playing them?
Orem beating Mountain Crest, and this is playoff baseball. Nobody would have expected that. In fact, nobody, I think, really thought that Park City was going to win their opening game against Snow Canyon, and then they just pushed Spanish Fork to the brink in this ball game. Just an excellent performance from both teams. And Spanish Fork doing what they do best, honestly, you know, hitting and getting balls in play and putting up a 7th spot. And no person more important, I think, than Noah Conway, who just came through with that clutch hit after what was an amazing play. And to be honest, I think one of the greatest plays that I've seen in a high school baseball game in that particular moment, a diving play by Max Mobley for Park City just right before that, but then a clutch hit up the middle by Noah Conway to win this game and to bring all the Dons fans a nice, sweet victory.
Absolutely, as you see the team breaking up the huddle there after celebrating this fantastic one. Again, our MVP Sports MVP of the game goes to Noah Conway, who was able to walk things off here for the Dons in the bottom of the 8th. A big RBI single right up the middle, able to help the Dons advance to Ogden 2-0 here in the playoffs thus far. Again, they will play at 1:30 on Wednesday over at Lindquist Field. They'll be playing the winner of the game of Orem versus Desert Hills. So the Dons definitely in a place where they can go deep here in the playoffs. Very exciting for Coach Nelson and all the players here for the Dons. Again, an absolute nail-biter here. This one went back and forth, and luckily for the Dons, they come away with the big hit at the end by Noah Conway. And so thank you for joining us here on Spanish Fork 17. This one, an extra inning thriller that ends 7-6. The Dons over the Miners as they will head over to Ogden 2-0 here in the playoffs. And again, for our crew here at Spanish Fork 17, I'm Angela LaRose. He's Jake Arscott. It's been a pleasure doing both of these games today, and we will catch you hopefully on Wednesday over at Lindquist Field. Thank you for joining us, and go Dons.